Like seriously, are you dumb?
Man, I don't know what's going on, but I see a lot of these fuck niggas popping they shit, thinking that niggas, they tough, they cold with this shit, and it's absurd. I find it disrespectful.
Like seriously, are you dumb?
Talking reckless, but he ain't gon' try. Ain't no coming back, one step and it's goodbye. He can sweet, he let it fly. Now his soul touch the sky. Another dumb way to die. They should warn them, they don't make it out alive. We don't talk, we just carve it in the side. Left the mark, now his name in the fire written high. Another dumb way to die. He ain't beat the piece that's context, now he a highlight in the text. Tried to start but got reset, soon as he got checked. Guess he yesterday's news, now he online talking less. Boy was gassing up the smoke, now he choking on the stress. True down, but still on his own sword, put that fraud to rest. Thought he was solid but cracked under heat. Now he's compressed, we the real highlight. Leave our mark with the blade. Swing sharp, every text plain. No need for a shade. Bring heads back to the camp. Left the fire engraved. And no echoes in the void. Rebel your name, every terrain. Biggest the game, watch his last words go live. Step wrong, now he trending. Another dumb way to die. Talking reckless, but he ain't gon' try. Ain't no coming back, one step and it's goodbye. He can sweet, we let it fly. Now his soul touch the sky. Another dumb way to die. They should warn them, they don't make it out alive. We don't talk, we just carve it in the side. Left the mark, now his name in the fire written high. Another dumb way to die.
That's the way to die. Why the fuck die?
Keep playing with me, I'ma show you why I know you touch. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Or you must be bored whole time. Super sad, barbarian soul. Drink that orange juice, you need it trying to stick to me. You know you a pussy nigga, slice your head off your body. Narratives and propaganda's not the way to fight, little bitch. The top is where you wanna be, but this is where we fucking live. The shot is all you need to buzz, the only thing we loaded. Got 49 in the drugs, you saw your homie, now he folded. It's a bunch of headless horsemen walking dead up in these streets. I'ma call you Moses, write your death in your defeat. You niggas dumb.
Talking reckless, but he ain't gon' try. Ain't no coming back, one step and it's goodbye. He can swing, he let it fly. Now his soul touch the sky. Another dumb way to die. They should warn them, they don't make it out alive. We don't talk, we just carve it in the side. Left the mark, now his name in the fire written high. Another dumb way to die.
Especially when these fuck niggas be trying to talk to us barbarians.
Hey y'all. Hey girl, hey. Oh, hey Erica. My ass I'm bored, right? So I just went live. Why? Oh yeah. I could put this down here. If anybody want to come up here, y'all can. I'm about to just talk about some of the recent events. Right, we got this shit with Solar, his scandal. We got Diddy on the books. We got Ashanti and Nelly. We got the Bar Reloaded doing shit. So I'm on camera. Film. A lot of people like to hate watch, so I'm gonna give them something to watch for. My birthday coming up next Friday. I'm about to be braiding my hair, so y'all can get used to that. So, what's good, y'all? Sunday, you can come up here too, talk about some of that politics you like. Anyway, so let's see. Diddy done got off with a lot of stuff we didn't think he would get off on. Even though, a lot of stuff was like disturbing. At the same time, I mean, I feel like they was overreaching anyway. Like a lot of that stuff they was reaching. You was fucking reaching. Like a lot of that shit. Did you really think it would hold up? Like I understand like they made him look bad and you had BDSM basically on trial. I mean, it's BDSM, like that it was his lifestyle that they was putting on trial, not necessarily him and the stuff he did. Is more like the lifestyle he led being on trial. And so I was just like, you know what I'm saying? I can see if you was getting it for beating Cassie, but you're not. You not going to court for rape. You're going to court for like flying people out that already put a price on themselves. You're going out for advocating, I guess, for them, like trying to get the prostitutes and stuff. But it's like, I mean, people do that normally. I don't know. Going to jail for flying somebody out for sex to me is like crazy because it's like they was. I mean, I'm not coercing them to do it. Like, and I'm paying for their trip. They if they could pay for it, they probably would. And I got to reimburse them. Like, how do you get around that? How do you get around that part? Because we had a whole before this, we had a whole thing of men flying women out, women not want to have sex and stuff, right? And then dudes getting pissed and all of that, right? So with that being the case of stuff that's happening, I'm trying to understand, are all of them people supposed to go to jail now? Because they were trying to fly a girl out to have sex, but then she didn't want to have sex and they got mad. Like he at least didn't get mad and paid them for their services. Y'all know I'm partial today anyway, but I'm just saying. They at least got paid. They got flown out. They got paid for what they was doing. I don't, he didn't coerce them. What the fuck? So, I mean, I think with the Diddy thing, he might actually be getting what he should get charged with and getting what he, deserved versus them trying to put BDSM in the spotlight. Because to me, Cassie is a masochist. You like this bullshit and you're trying to act like you don't, but that's kind of what masochists do, right? You're down for it, but you want to act like you're not. You want to act like you're not for this or that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's doing stuff, but you get turned on by embarrassment. You get turned on by, somebody dogging you about any of that.
That's
So
what I was gonna say. I mean, had he had been on trial for
for that, yeah, that
abusing
would be
her,
different. Yeah.
then definitely we could have proved that. We could have proved that he groomed her. We could have proved that,
Mm-hmm.
he introduced
Kinda.
her to drugs.
Because I wouldn't
Well,
say he groomed her because she was like grown.
I
She was
think
grown and
she
she was
She was
with
very
it.
grown.
She was very with it.
I don't I mean she met him when she was what, 19, and he was like 37.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she was fully grown. I think she was an opportunist. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Definitely, I do
Word.
think she wanted her career. She saw, oh, this man can give me the things that I want. But I don't think she fully knew what she was getting herself into until she was in it.
I mean, well, nobody does.
Right. But
You
I
don't
don't
know
Yeah.
what
think
you're
they
getting
had
into
a,
unless you were in it. You did it before, you experienced it, and then you see it coming around again.
yeah,
Right.
So
I
it's
don't
like,
think,
yeah.
I
like
agree.
you said, if he had been on trial for all of those things, definitely he was
But I
100%
still
guilty.
think that she's a masochist. She likes to get peed
Can
on.
you break down what a masochist and a sadist is for the channel?
I
Cause
can't agree with that. I'm
I'm
sorry. I
like, she
just
likes
can't.
to get peed on.
I don't.
She
Oh,
got her
peed
hair cut
on.
off.
Oh, peed on.
so, but
She
break it down for the people that don't know what those things are.
what a masochist is?
Yes,
I
and a
said that.
sadist.
Hold on. I'll share my screen. The fact that I have to share my screen. This
Well,
a
some
masochist
people don't know what these
is
things are. They
someone.
don't
Yeah,
know
they
what
don't know what
BDSM
this
is.
is. Like you
Some
talking like
people don't know.
Oh my god! All right, here, hold on. Let me get it back. Uh, small again so we can see it. Um, can we see it
there
now?
we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
give us a
Okay, a
little.
masochist is someone who derives pleasure from experiencing pain, humiliation, or discomfort, either physical or psychological. This can be a general personality trait or specific sexual preference. In the context of sexual masochism, it refers to deriving sexual gratification from being subjected to pain or humiliation. And
It
that's
looks
what I
like
think that she is, a
Timothy has
masochist.
posted that in the chat. Thanks, Timothy.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and
Did y'all hear me? I'm sorry.
Ray said, "I do
Mm-mm.
not believe she liked that." Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think so.
she's definitely a masochist. She didn't stay with him all that time through a lot of the stuff that she got, and then when you read her text messages, she's excited. She's happy. Yes, from the outside looking in, it could look, but I'm not going to kink shame, and I think it's a kink, right?
Mhm.
Do I think
Mhm.
that her getting black eyes and shit like that is a kink? No, right? That's somebody who took their shit way too far. He took that dom shit too far. He took that, I'm in control shit way too far. But
Mhm.
do I think that it's a kink that she's a masochist? Absolutely, I think that she's a masochist. She liked a lot of that shit. And a sadist,
Yeah,
as
let's do
Cynthia
the
said,
let's do
is
the
someone who
sadist one.
derives pleasure from inflicting pain or humiliation on others. So usually a sadist is with a masochist,
Yeah.
right? Because sadists aren't going to feel bad for you, and they don't want you to feel bad for them because they like it. So
Right.
it's like
I have a
they
question.
like that shit.
There was an aspect of
Hold on, let me
her
take a look.
understanding where she felt that she needed to take on his pain and his burdens. Uh, so when you say a sadist doesn't really want you or doesn't care, I'm sorry. I think that's where I was confused. Cause she was like, she felt like she had to be like the person that takes on his shame or something. She said, is that a part of being a sadist?
You mean a sadist or a masochist? Because that was
Uh,
her
uh,
Well,
feelings.
both. Well, both. I mean, on his end, where he felt like, yeah, sure, take on my shame, and on her end, where she felt like, I have to do this.
that's well, her on her end, that's a part of being a masochist, but I don't know if that's a part of being a sadist because a sadist, well, she put it up here. A sadist, okay? A sadist is someone who derives pleasure, especially sexual pleasure, from inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliation on others. It's a
Hmm.
personality trait characterized by enjoyment, causing harm, or witnessing others suffering. This can manifest as a physical or psychological cruelty, including emotional abuse and attempts to control humiliating. I'm gonna say humiliating because that it should say humiliating others. I'm
Yeah.
gonna just grammatically correct that.
Sir, I couldn't be a sadist and like whips and chains. If I am, because he said, no,
I saw it.
he said that I was a sadist. I like whips and chains and gags, right? I am a submissive. I do not like that stuff.
Oh
I can't do
god.
that. That's dom things.
um, mm,
I'm
Do you
sorry,
think
sir.
that Diddy is a true dom?
Do I think he's a dom? He definitely, yes. What?
absolutely.
And he's a sadist for
He's a
sure.
sadist dom. Like that's just like the worst of all doms to
Like,
be.
like you can't even. He's going to be a sadist. Like he has to be a dom and he has to be a sadist. He has to be both because he's even a sadist to his artists. You see what he did to them people walking to get cheesecake and shit like that? That's a
Yeah,
humiliation
that's
thing,
true.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
a
was
Yeah,
yeah,
him
that's true.
getting
Yeah.
pleasure from that. Like it's not always sexual
yeah.
because sometimes it's psychological, right? And
Right.
those kind of things that he did a lot of psychologically sadist activity,
Yeah, like
like
when
a
he
lot
turned
of
the
it.
heat up in the booth so people will be in there sweating and stuff. So
Hmm.
he could get the reaction out of them that he wanted.
He had Cassie shave her hair off.
Well, I think he beat her or something in her head. She had patches and she had no choice but to shave it. And then he liked it after that. He was like, "Oh, this is hot. You should rock that."
Yeah, I
Weird,
mean, he made her.
but
Yeah, because it's a humiliation thing. She went from being, the ambiguous, cute girl with the long, cute hair to coming out as his little girl with her hair cut off, looking crazy. Cassie did that. You think so? They said she was made to. Yeah,
no, I think
yeah, but that's what we were
she
saying,
had to
Sean, is
because
that
she.
his lifestyle was put on trial, which was more BDSM, and then that really was the charges. Like the charges didn't really fit what they were saying.
I think too because they couldn't really tie the arson to him because the DNA wasn't his; it was a female's. Um, yeah. Allegedly, he did a lot of things that are, but he was involved in it mostly, which is why I think it was hard to prove the RICO because it's not like you had people
He didn't have an
doing.
organization like an
Yeah, didn't have
enterprise of
a.
it,
Yeah, but I definitely believe everything he said. They said he did. He did. Yeah.
but none of it was who he was on trial for. That's why I
No,
was
I
like,
agree. Yeah, I agree with you.
y'all
I'm just
basically
saying.
just put BDSM on trial without saying it's BDSM. Because from somebody who knows the lifestyle, when I'm looking at it, I'm seeing a lot of it being displayed and them being like, "This is so egregious." But it's like, but if she like getting peed on, like, if
Yeah,
she
because
like,
it wasn't
if she
like it
like getting
wasn't.
slapped, if she like getting this, like, why is it?
They
Mm.
never proved like the people that he was soliciting that he was selling or like you weren't doing that. You were partaking in. You were paying for a service basically.
That's it.
You were doing a
Right.
bunch of freaky stuff, but you
Paying
weren't
for the
like
service.
you didn't have prostitutions and
Yeah,
prostitutes.
he didn't have
Sorry,
a prostitute ring
right? You didn't
where
have
it
a
was like he was in
brothel. Yeah,
charge.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
the.
Now, if they could
Yeah,
have
like
proved
that's
that,
how
that
they
would
was
have been
trying to do it,
different.
right?
But there was nothing. I don't know if they had evidence and they just decided because I do think it was kind of. I don't know why they thought just focusing on Cassie, and the freak offs was gonna work. I don't know.
Because they had already released a video about Cassie and him beating her ass.
That's true. I was just shocked that a lot of it was about her. I thought there would be a lot more, evidence, a lot more testimony from other people, a lot of other things, and it really wasn't.
Yeah, actually, Timothy is. I agree with that. I don't think that. I think even his gay acts are just for sadist type things
I
sometimes.
never even heard of. Well, let me hush. I'm gonna go on mute on that. Because I was like, it's certain things that I could see being that, but I don't. I didn't hear any testimony of him actually doing things
Anything with the men, yeah, it
with a
was Cassie.
man. Yeah, most of the stuff I heard
Cassie.
was that, and yeah, pretty much.
I heard them,
Well,
yeah, and
well,
then that one
it
dude,
was a
yeah.
street thing when it was like through the blogs and
He wanted
people
to,
Yeah, like I
but
heard
podcasts with the
more
he
from
was a
BDSM.
from
voyeur. He was a
blogs.
voyeur. He was a, he wanted her to be an exhibitionist. He wanted to watch. He went all of that shit is part of BDSM. That's all kinks.
Baby girl, you over here telling these people all this shit they don't know.
Yeah, but they should know.
But people
All
should know
right.
because maybe if you get into a situation with someone like
Word
this,
of the day,
then you know
expeditionist.
what it is, so you can say, okay, I don't want to do this, I don't like this, and you can bounce. Not saying that
Right, but
Cassie's situation is the
I
situation,
advocate for
but
people to know their kinks. Because when you
Absolutely.
don't, you have shit like this.
Like this happened. Like so,
And
you
what you know
know,
about it?
me.
What does
look
Sean
at
know about
Sean
it?
over here
Oh,
just
What?
if you study
if you
LS
study LS
I
community, you
swear
community,
he was
you'll
learn.
learn.
made of a
Sir,
vanilla stick. I don't even think he knows about it.
me too, I'm a vanilla.
That's
That's why I think this
that's why he's so
conversation is
light as a
balancing.
vanilla.
People hide their kinks. Yeah, because there's a lot of shame behind their
Well,
kinks.
we see why. Shit, you look at the whole Diddy trial. The whole Diddy trial was literally attacking people's kinks, and
I
everybody
think
in the
too,
world
though,
is
we
like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this! She couldn't have liked that. She couldn't have did this. She couldn't have." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, but
yeah.
people do like it.
But I mean, it's like, so
Some people.
what does a healthy BDSM situation look like?
It looks like
Bec-
that. It just looks like that with people who understand what it is.
Do you think Cassie ever understood that she was into BDSM?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You heard them or you didn't hear it, but we read what the strippers were saying about her or the escorts.
Oh, okay. I
They were
wasn't
saying a
here for
lot of
that.
stuff about oh Kathy is the definition.
Sean, goodness gracious, my guy, like you got a lot to say about this stuff. Like, Wow. Now
You
she's
said you
the
saw shit you never saw
definition.
before. Yeah, because if you do know anything about lifestyle, you will be like, that's normal. Like, okay. But if you don't know anything about it, you'll be like, that's weird. They gotta be making somebody do that. She can't want that. You can't, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do. People pay good money for this stuff to happen to them. People pay good money to get beat on. They pay good money to get peed on. They can pay good money to get tied up and, humiliated. But it's
Yeah,
because
see,
they
that's
needed
a
to
whole.
be.
So somebody like me, like, I mean, now I kind of have an understanding, but see, I've never been exposed to any of those things, so I've never seen it firsthand. So yeah, it does sound crazy to me that somebody would pay for something like that. So I can kind of understand, whoa, like that's wild.
And they
Um,
have it for free.
the free
But
part is sending me, but okay.
no, I'm saying because he said LS parties. He said LS parties have all the stuff, and I'm like, yeah, and it's for free. Like you get in, and you get to get an experience. The first time I ever got tied up was at one of those things. They tell you how to tie somebody up correctly.
Don't forget the men too. While you over there talking about you gotta know how the freaky women are, sir.
Yeah,
Goes for
because
men and
men,
women. Let's not do that, sir. But yeah,
some men like to get are masochists. A lot of men are.
Mm-hmm.
I
yes,
think
I
every
do too.
man that deals with a woman that dogged them, or your women who get loud in public, start dogging them, telling them what they ain't doing, da 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 da. And he just be and he going right home with her. He's a masochist. He
Oh,
like that
yeah.
shit.
You like that shit. That's what get them off.
Listen, I'm not going to those lifestyle events. I'm gonna leave that up to you, my friend, and all the other people that like to partake.
The
I'm good.
lifestyle events are sexual in nature, but you could be a masochist or sadist without the sex as well.
I'm just saying,
You
like,
got some
okay, like,
bosses who are sadists who like to they like to like demean their employees. It turns them on to get make somebody have a hard day, a
well,
bad
that's
day
what I'm
because
trying
they
to say.
have to
Like,
listen to them.
so where's
Stuff
the
like that.
line drawn? Like, where's the line? Is there a line?
A
What
line of
line?
what?
Who is there? Who is there?
I'm just saying, like, okay, so we have the kinks, right? We understand these are kinks,
Hmm.
but do we understand in which way that we use them? Is there a boundary that we're overstepping? I mean,
I mean,
when
that's
you're
up to
not
you, right?
involved with someone that doesn't want to be involved in your little BDSM fetish.
But
Then they should.
everybody
But that's
has
the
a but
reason why I say people should take up BDSM so they know what it is. A lot of people can't identify it because they don't even open the door. They just make people do sick shit.
but I'm gonna say everybody has a kink. Everybody
I
does.
agree. I understand that, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I believe in boundaries. I mean, BDSM also has boundaries, right?
Absolutely. But they're
Yeah.
placed upon
But
the
you set
parties
them.
that is partaking them. Like not just her, but the person that she's with. Like you got your boundaries, that person that you're dealing with got their boundaries, but the little kinky shit you like is a kinky shit that you like. It's still kink. It's still
I
like
mean, we also have to. Sorry, go ahead. Morphine, my bad.
so kink is like
Yeah.
anything that is not normal and basic interactions in sexuality. You know what I'm saying? And then sexuality is not always physical too, right? So anything that is not is deemed abnormal will be like kink borderline, abnormal.
Okay, and I'm not kink shaming. I'm just saying, for the most part, like, if you are in a situation with someone you don't know anything about BDSM, but they're enacting their kink out with you, and they don't establish boundaries, and they don't like say, hey, like, I'm into this. Is this okay with you? Like, kind of how, like, we saw, in that movie, because that's the only BDSM reference I got. I'm sorry, where,
Hmm.
like, he sat down with her and he was like, okay, well, what are your hard yeses, or I mean, your hard no's or your soft no's or whatever, and they went down the line together. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like,
Hmm. Oh,
where is the if you are not into BDSM, or you don't know that you have a kink and you don't know anything about this stuff, and you end up with somebody like a Diddy, and you're having these freak offs because you think, oh, this is how we share our love together, right? You see what I'm saying? You don't know what a masculine is, you don't know what a sadist is, you don't know anything. Where does it become unhealthy? That's what I'm asking.
I think within the scenario that you put up here, that a lot of the times even the people that you're talking to, like the opposite party, not you, in this scenario there's two parties, right? So the opposite
Hmm.
party that she or he is talking to that don't know anything about a kink, I think they don't know about the kink either. They just have it.
So you think
So,
that Diddy doesn't know that he's into BDSM?
oh
No,
no,
he
Diddy knows.
does.
Diddy knows. But
I mean, he's got to.
in the A and B in the A and B variable that you put up on the fucking stage, these are two normal motherfuckers. And I think normal people don't know they have a kink. They just know that they're kinky.
Okay,
And
so when we talked about kinks, right? Sean started mentioning a bunch of stuff, right? So he said, like, if you like your nipples pinched, if you like to be choked, hair pulled, ropes or handcuffs, if you like to watch, if you like to be watched, stuff like that. So a lot of people have kinks, because I call them soft kinks, but a lot of people have
but they
kinks that
are
they
soft
don't know
kinks.
about, like, right?
Yeah.
They don't know that this is a kink that you have. Like, nah, you need to pull my hair, you need to do this and that.
So
I'm
I
not
would
gonna sit
say
here and praise Diddy for being a lifestyle guru. This man was high all the time. This man was dragging people through
Praise him though.
hotels. Like,
not
if you
lifestyle,
don't sit
not
down
that,
somewhere, no,
not
Diddy
BDSM
Diddy is
guru
definitely
though.
not a lifestyle
He
guru.
was though.
He
But
is
he
what not to
He
do.
was
was. No, he
in
kind of
that
No,
is what
in
to
the hip
do.
no,
It's
hop.
just that
He
he takes it.
was
It's just with that he kind of took it kind of far with the
no,
Cassie
he did take
beatings.
it far, bro. He dragged that lady through that hotel like she was chopped liver.
because
Like, let's go.
she was acting like she didn't
But
know
that's
though. Like,
different. My thing is that that's kind
say
of
no.
different.
I'm just playing.
That's
You
kind
know.
of different to
Yeah,
me
please,
because
Martine, don't do that.
he took his dom shit kind of far, right? To where he felt like it's kind of like when we had these conversations in the back, right? And we try to tell the dom people that you're only a dom because the sub is letting you, right? They're letting
Mhm.
Yeah.
you be a dom. And they
Mhm.
kind of forget that sometimes that you're the dom because I allow you to be that. So when you get to being bratty or doing other shit, then now it's like, no, you gotta listen to me. Like, what the fuck is this? How come you're not listening? How come you're not, you know what I'm saying? And then it takes a turn for the worse because you're not doing that. You're not doing what it is that, he wants, which is what he's used to because he's the dom. So I feel
Mhm.
like in
Well,
that
I
instance,
also
he kind
think
of took
he's a
it too far.
narcissist. So there's that.
I mean, most times would be you're in charge of
I
people.
I, I kind of feel
Own
like
Yeah,
you.
most times it would
if
be, baby.
if he had not, if the domestic violence was not a part of this, then I would agree that he was a lifestyle guru or whatever. But I just kind of feel like, you know, are you really a dom if you have to punch somebody in the face? Absolutely not. Like, I feel like you really got problems. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be 100. I
No,
cannot.
no,
I
not.
can't taking
It's
it too
not that
far.
he
No,
has
he
to, but
he
it's
beat
if
these
you're
women's
used to it.
behinds.
But
He
if
beat
you're
these
you,
women's
hold
But
on,
behinds.
he
hold
don't
on.
have
But it's a
to.
difference if you have to and if you or have been allowed to, and so you're used to,
Yeah, I
I
would
right? Because
agree
don't
to
if
think.
that.
I
oh
don't think.
God,
I don't.
Sean,
I don't think that he was allowed to. I think he
Sean
did that
said,
crap. Just the
because
simple fact.
he's
Like,
typing,
just
it's
the simple
crazy.
yeah,
fact.
I just happened to look over and I was like, oh wow.
Just the simple fact that this man had her mom wire him $20,000 because he was threatening to release the freak off tape and then return it a few days later.
He
No,
Like,
he
said
sir,
wasn't
no.
beating. He wasn't
he
beating
didn't
everyone,
say he
and that
wasn't
is
being
the case.
everybody. Like,
I didn't say he was beating everyone, but most of the
this
women
dude,
that Gina lady
this
allegedly
man
said
here.
that Gina lady went on Tasha
Which
K or
comment?
whoever it was and said that he beat her. Cassie said he beat her. I'm sure he broke.
This-
Some people had allegedly said that he broke Kim Porter's nose and he did a lot of stuff to Kim Porter. Like he has a history of abuse with women.
That's
Sorry.
not Tiffany. That's
Because
no.
I mean, he's
I'm
a
talking to
fucking
Sean. I'm responding
sadist.
to. I understand that, but it's just
That's
like
that's Lindsay.
I understand that he's a sadist. I get that concept, but when it comes to domestic violence, I can't like I don't give a dang about your kink, sir. You
It's
got a
just because to
problem.
I
me, I
mean,
just feel like with
but
domestic violence is just the kink gone too far.
absolutely. Because it's not domestic violence in a civilian way. It's
But they
that's
weren't
domestic
having
violence and
relations when he beat her up. He started beating her up when she was
But
no,
it's
no,
calling
no.
not
So
police.
about
BDSM,
relations.
yeah, there you go, there you go. You explain it because I
Yeah,
was
because
there.
she was about to say that. Yeah, BDSM is not always just sexual. That's why when we read the definition, it was saying it's psychological and sexual. You can have a psychological BDSM relationship where you're not ever physically, sexually in it, but they know they are in control and you're not, like you're here, and you heed to that, right? You take heed to that.
Yeah,
So in some instances, she could have did some fucked up shit and went home and got her ass kicked, and they had sex afterwards because she liked that shit.
that was her shit.
I'm
Okay.
gonna leave that to the experts, but I'm just gonna
So
say
it's like,
the last
so
thing I'm
then
gonna
this
say.
time when she
Yeah,
done grabbed his shit, grabbed his phone and shit, and he gonna take the shit from her. That's a how dare you moment. Like,
Oh
like
my
what Sean
god.
said, I'm not making a
look, I'm not saying that
excuse,
Cassie is
right?
like
But
innocent,
it's just
bro. Like,
like,
chill. Talking
But
no,
on
I
the
no,
got
no.
path is
I was
wild.
just talking about
No,
the
not
mind
y'all.
frame of him and the fact of you think you about to touch my shit and run. You are my son. Like, you do what I say. How
but
dare you
I
touch my shit and dip, girl? What the fuck wrong with you? Like, she the
yeah,
audacity
the
of you.
audacity,
Like, you
yeah.
I
understand what I'm
was
saying?
responding. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I was responding to Sean because he was back there, being a typing in all caps and stuff.
I got a
This
caveat. I
part,
gotta. I.
Right.
It's not
Look,
a Diddy. It's
I'm
not a
never
Diddy
saying
lifesaver. But I got a caveat, and my caveat is, his baby mama's book. I don't know if you read it, but Kim
whose
Porter's
book.
book. Kim
We don't know
Porter.
if that's really her book. That's an
Nigga, we don't. But I'm
allegedly.
just saying, according to
Honey,
this.
can you put allegedly across the banner? Because we do not know
this
if
is
that's that lady book.
allegedly.
Allegedly, thank you.
Allegedly,
Allegedly, because we do not know.
according to this book, allegedly, according to this book that you can find on Audible now, um, she was with the shits, and she said it in allegedly said it in the book, and was very explicit and very, very, very descriptive about her journey in the Diddy
I hate the fact that you're so enjoying everything that you're saying. She was so she enjoyed it. She just
She
loved
enjoyed
it.
the
Like
journey, but no, because it's the flip side to this coin. I ain't just get there yet, but she
okay.
enjoyed the journey in the beginnings. I would say all the way up to after she had the babies. Well, I'm saying no. That's me. That's me exaggerating. To be
Allegedly.
literally, allegedly, literally, according to this book, till she got pregnant with Zed twins, shit becomes very, very, I need to get the fuck out of this situation. But she was with the shits because, she was with the shits, and she seen a lot of things, and the things that she was seeing and the things that Miss Casey Mama was saying is very, very, very similar.
Casey or Cassie? I'm sorry.
Cassie, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
look,
always call her
I
because
definitely
that's
think
the way
that
it looks
Cassie
when I spell. So
I
Cassie, the
definitely
things
think
that
that
her
Cassie
mom, not Cassie, was saying, but her mama, the things that Cassie
uh
mama was saying is very similar to the things that Miss Porter seen around her as she was, allegedly indulging in festivities.
I'm
okay.
saying I do. I agree. I think she was. I think anybody that fuck with him would have to be part of the lifestyle and enjoy it. I think
Or
that he just
pretend
has a
to.
problem with. saying goodbye. Like he has a problem with them,
Right.
like with them growing up, with them being like, I want something more, with them being like, I want something different now. Like that shit's kind of played, and he wants to do the same thing. He wants his toys to stay toys and not do all that other shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And he likes
Yeah, because
shelving
it's
his toys
very
too.
it's like this. I was gonna say that I think Cassie got to the point where she wanted him to be just with her. And see, that's the problem. You got to know the man you with too. You know, if he's doing all this stuff, you can't go back to some baseline relationship. He's doing all this wild
Imagine that you
stuff.
doing freak offs and shit, and now he just want to fuck with you.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would be a
know
mind
how
fuck,
that,
even for
yeah, how
me.
that's gonna work. I just like, if
Not
I
gonna
meet a
happen.
man that's like into like, threesomes and stuff like that, do I think that just having sex with me is gonna stop him from wanting to do threesomes? Like, no. Like, I don't know. But
What?
I think that could have
Mm,
been a part of her
her
wanting to
mindset,
prove her worth, because I feel like she was
which is
It's
very
people
insecure.
acting like
crazy,
I don't
which is
know.
crazy for
She
her
wanted to be
because
chosen. She wanted him to choose her and forget everybody else. And I think that's another thing too, because if he's a sadist, he's not making
Mhm.
sure everybody feels valued and wanted, right?
But he not
Well,
going
kind
to.
of he was though, because it
I
kind of
mean,
he was though,
I got the
because
opposite thought.
he no, I mean like any sadist or any dom takes care, but he thinks that you being with him is doing something. He thinks that you
But that's
Yeah,
what I'm
true,
saying.
he
Like,
thinks that
maybe
true,
him
somebody
buying
true.
that
you
is,
this stuff is him showing you something. Him, I chose you to go to the freak offs and not the other bitches. Like that's
well,
Well,
yeah, I can
even
showing you
see that.
I
something.
I
can
can see
attest to
that.
that. I can attest to that and build on that because allegedly in Kim Porter's book, when she had them twins, well, not had them twins, but when she announced to him that she was pregnant, he was excited. He never questioned shit, and she was definitely allegedly down with the freak offs. So it again, like what Honey said, that shit would have fucked them. It would have been a mind fuck for me too. To go from that extreme to go to normalcy, nigga, like yo, that shit would have been so crazy for me. Like it,
That's
and then drugs
that's why we
and
keep
all
saying
that.
alleged.
Yeah, that's why I can't use that book as a reference, because I don't really know that that's really her words. Like, I can imagine though that she had to be doing some of that. I don't think that she was different from anybody he's ever been with, because I mean, in his mind,
No, but
What? But and even in the
but
book,
with
her
her, she
go.
found the toy, and with Cassie, he probably found the toy, and Cassie didn't like that shit.
right?
But
He
that's what
just
it
kind of,
was, though. It was
and then they
I enjoyed it, and then
compartmentalize
when
it
I
too.
didn't, it was an issue. It's the same story, just
Yeah,
that's
like
what I'm
Denise
saying.
said, he don't know how to let go.
He don't know how to let
He
go.
wants you to be where you are forever.
You need
You
to groom
know.
his new toy before you get to leaving. You need to tell his new
I
toy
don't
what
know
to
why.
do.
Do you think I'm a Cassie sympathist or something, Sean? Or am you just talking?
Cassie flaunted herself in front of Kim.
Well, that's because there's that whole power dynamic. Like I said, she came into the situation. She was fresh meat. You know, when you a narcissist, you got a new supply. They always prop
She
you
said,
up like
"Kim,
you're the new
you
thing.
you
You're
said
better than
look in the
everybody
bathroom
else.
good."
They make you feel responsible for them. And then they humble you at some point when, the old supply has really been there for the longest. That's how it works.
But that is Lindsay. Stop calling her Tiffany.
Where
Yeah,
are
I was
you
looking for.
calling me Tiffany?
I'm over here
I
looking
was
for random
learning.
info.
At
Like,
first,
where is the random info
I
at?
was
at
learning.
first I'm thinking
Like,
that,
I
but I'm
was
like, I don't
wondering
know.
who
I'm like,
Tiffany
am I
was.
missing?
I'm thinking he's talking to Tiffany in the chat. I'm not
I
realizing
couldn't
that
see
he's
her. I
talking to
didn't
me.
understand.
I ain't see Shay. I ain't see random info. I ain't see none of Tiffany on
Right.
this.
So I'm
Sean,
like, I
you
think
don't
it's
know
because
what
she got
happened, bro.
blessed
You was
be.
not there, bro.
But
I don't.
Sean, listen,
For
I said the
somebody
same
that's so,
thing.
you know how to read, my guy. Blessed be is not Tiffany, sir.
I thought that Sean, I'm gonna tell you this. I said everything that you're saying, and they yelled at me.
And I will
because
continue to yell at you.
I
Yes,
did.
I
Y'all
will.
yelled at me about this because I was saying the same shit. Like, well, she was enjoying it when it was when it was the other way around. When it was her looking at his recent woman or whatever, his baby mama, and she was going through all of this shit. She thought it was cute. She thought it was funny
Mhm.
because she thought
Mhm.
she was the chosen one. He don't like
I
you,
just said
bitch.
that.
Get out the way, type shit, right?
I
So
literally
that's what he
said
was
that.
saying. Like she was with it all, and then all of a sudden, when it was her, she acted like it was like what?
What's
I don't
going
believe
on?
it.
Why is it me? Like, what the
You
fuck?
watched
Like,
him
you
beat the
And
like
shit
I
out of
me?
literally
somebody.
said that. I literally said that. I said all of that. I did. I said it was a competition thing. She was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
we know
I'm the
you said
new
that.
girl. You know, hey, it's me. I'm
But that's
Cassie.
the
I'm the
reason why
best
I
friend
don't have
walking
no
in."
sympathy for Cat. I really don't. Like, I mean, I understand you got your ass
I have
kicked
it
and
to a
shit, but
degree.
it was like, it's
I
still
have it to a
there,
degree. I
right?
do. I can sympathize with her in some aspects, but then I also feel like you know I and also too I have to take it to this. I've never been with a man that's that powerful, so maybe she thought he was going, unalive her. I don't know.
But they all
Unaliver,
did.
she was for, but the thing is, she was about it though.
No, I'm not saying
I'm
for
not,
that. I'm
if
saying
I
for
could
if she
never.
tried to leave, like apparently he threatened her life a few times. So I
But
can't
so did
really.
Kim. Like, so did Kim. Kim thought the same thing.
Mm-hmm,
Allegedly.
mm-hmm.
Allegedly, they all thought that.
But that's
Baby,
what I'm
it's
saying.
a
Like I
it's
can't.
a BDM. If you want, for anyone that is watching this, think of BDSM in this way for Sean Diddy Combs PD,
I don't
whatever
want to
that nigga's
be
name,
in
because he
BDSM
got a lot
according to
of
what
names.
y'all talking
If
about.
y'all didn't notice, every time this nigga had like something traumatic happen in the media, he changed his name. But anyway, but whatever the nigga name is today,
Duh.
for Sean, not Sean P.
It's
But for
called
Sean Carr,
narcissism.
from
Say it
that
with me,
nigga,
Morphine.
he had a thing.
Blaze is
Narcissism.
not listening to you.
He had a thing for letting bitches go when he was ready to let bitches go when he had a new trophy. So Honey definitely did say that, and she definitely did see that. But Kim fucked around and got pregnant, so her getaway had a little hiccup in it. Now, say if she never got pregnant and Cassie, I'm sorry, came in the picture, then that would have been her way out the fucking door. Like, she could have just skated scot free. He wouldn't give a fuck.
I don't
He
think
just would
so
have been
because
like,
he didn't want her to go back to Al B. Shore. That man sold her
How do
that
you know that he
LBC to
didn't
Al
want
B.
her to go
Shore
back to
mm,
Albie Shore?
because
oh, why is you
he
so
was.
She
loud?
wasn't. She
Yes, you
wasn't
are
gonna go
very
back to
loud.
Albie Shore. I don't know
How
why
you
I'm
know that?
loud.
How you know that?
Honey can
What do you
control
mean?
How do you
your
know that?
volume in her
What
StreamYard.
What do you mean?
How? What?
No, I don't know why my
I
volume's loud.
asked you. How do
I
you
know,
know
but
that? I
I
maybe
don't know
she
turned
could
it
how
do
else
it.
to
down.
explain that.
Yeah.
Because okay, you're saying that a man that can have any woman is going to worry about a woman going back to a man that she came over from is crazy. Okay,
No, it's
so
not
let's
crazy
put no
because.
no. Let me finish. You asked me a question. Let me finish.
All right, hurry up.
Oh,
Now I got a time limit. I want you to fully understand that he does not care. He doesn't care. He's a selfish individual. He's not thinking about none of that. Like you just said a minute ago, if he was letting her go and walk, then go and walk. He's got a replacement. That's what Carisha was.
yes.
Carisha's one of the biggest implements in all of this. Just look at what was going on. She knew about the lifestyle. She knew about the parties. She knew what he liked. She knew his habits. She knew his weaknesses. She knew everything. But she, even being involved in to a certain aspect, she knew everything. But yet she was dragged under the mud because she was the one person that knew, baby, I'm gonna do all of this, but you finna pay the hell out of me, and you go help me get my stuff off the ground. She used the business model to win him.
Okay.
But my
Can I
point
talk
I
about
now?
agree with
going
that.
back to LB Shore, my point
Okay,
about
thank
going back
you.
to LB Shore is that who the fuck is LB Shore? Go back to him. At
True.
this point,
True.
who? Who is Al? He's not the singer that we knew from the 90s. Go back to him.
He was a one hit wonder. Same thing with the guy that she dated when he met her. The You're my diamond girl. That nigga. Like I don't know his name, but that guy. Um
But I
when
mean,
he
even
was
if he was a good selling
Can I
artist,
talk
he ain't
now?
Diddy.
did he smash
Can I
his career?
respond?
He only had that one album. That was
Can I
it.
respond, please?
Go ahead, blessed be.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's not that Al B. Sure has more money than him, because clearly he doesn't. But the way that he even got Kim Porter, he took him from Al B. Short, and he made sure that she was not with him. You know, they had their little beef for however long. If you look at all these dudes in the industry, they get off on being able to take other people's women. So I don't really think it's so much about, oh well, who is LB Shore, because clearly he doesn't have more money than him. Neither did Kid Cudi, but he still blew up his car allegedly over Cassie, who he could have replaced. But it's not about that. It's about the control.
I
Like
would like to
Denise
What
said,
respond
what
to
if that
this.
was a
this is
Well,
girl
no,
not.
that
cause
Cuddy
I'm
Sean
was
P.
still
Can I,
messing
talking, my
with?
guy.
wait, Sean P. Let me
Hold
respond to that.
on. I'm still
Let me
talking.
do it.
Thank you.
Let her
I'm still
go.
Okay,
talking.
thank you.
So my thing is, if these are his toys, I don't care. I don't want you. I want to control you. You can't go back to that. You're mine. You belong to me. That's how I see it. But go ahead, Morphine.
So my thing is this: like, let's just be a little logical here. If not, if this is a fact, they were having freak offs. You could have went to a Diddy party and had your way with Cassie. You could have had your day with her. You might have had your weekend with her. All you could not do, and I'm not defending this man, I swear to God, I'm not defending this man. All you could not do is not have her as your own. It was
That's
that
literally my
Absolutely.
point.
fucking simple.
Absolutely.
Like
That's
it was
literally my
that was
point.
that fucking simple. And that's all I got to say about this shit. Even when I ain't even gonna go to fucking
But we
R.
never
Kelly.
heard of
But I'ma
Cassie
just take
doing
in this
anything
point.
without
No,
Diddy
we're not
though.
doing
So
R. Kelly.
Yeah,
you gotta
I'm
keep
not
that
even
in
going
mind.
there, but
You said you could go to a Diddy party and have your way with Cassie. Yeah, you would have to have your way with
You gonna
Cassie
go
in
to a
front
Diddy
of
party
Diddy.
too. No, don't try to demean Diddy
like y'all
parties. You
can
gonna go to
have
Diddy
y'all
party too.
way with
What you
each
mean to me in
other.
the
Not
party?
not
Sir, can you
not
please
even a
stay
party.
on
The party was a
topic?
weekend. The party was a week long
Stay
sometimes.
on
So
topic.
you can have
That
your
is the
week,
topic.
your day, your weekend with Cassie. You cannot
Yes,
have
but
her
you
to
have to have your
yourself, nigga.
think. Yeah, you gonna have your day. You gonna have your way with Diddy. Diddy is going to be
Hi,
there,
Tommy.
and that is my whole entire point.
What
Diddy
the
is
fuck
not
is the
letting.
issue with that? He
Blessed
ain't
be, you
trying to
have a
poke
message
you.
in the chat.
He ain't trying to
Okay.
stroke you. He just like, yo, listen, you can have her just when it's in my
Is that
At
premise.
the
Tommy?
end of the day, yeah. At the end of the
Oh,
day, though, she's mine. That's it. Just
Yeah,
and
everybody
she just
that's
mine.
my whole
listen.
point. I don't care
Y'all
about.
still wrong.
No, we're not
Oh
wrong
Why we
man,
at
wrong?
Nah,
all.
no.
What's
We
Y'all,
talk
wrong?
all the time.
y'all got a man on the panel with y'all, but y'all don't want to
Okay,
listen to the man
Sean.
tell
What do you
y'all
want to
that
say,
it's
Sean?
not that. I'm trying to tell y'all what it is. If you're listen, y'all just said that he got like a couple of problems with him, and I'm cool with I'm in agreements with y'all on a lot of stuff. But when it comes to this thought process or the assumption that he is one way or another way about these women, y'all are wrong. Y'all know this is why. I'm going to tell you why. You know how many people that try to get next to a billionaire? He's a black billionaire that they find attractive, that can get anything that they ever wanted in life. There's women
hmm
lined up. These women lined up. So I don't want to. I don't want to play this this sympathy game for a lot of these women because they put themselves in these curious ass positions to be taken advantage of because they wanted something from him. That's how all this shit starts. And yeah, he went too fucking far, and he needs to be ridiculed a lot. Well, he already settled up with Cassie, but he needed to be ridiculed for the shit that happened to Cassie. That happened. Now everybody saw it. They humiliated him. They tried to make him out a monster. But in the eyes of people that understand the lifestyle, he's not that because people participate there. They go to a level of pain and threshold that allows them to accept and like shit like that. So my point is this: Kim Porter was useless to him before she became pregnant. Useless. She was doing the same shit that every other woman was coming in, and she was one of many women. The thing is once she gained the status of carrying the twins, everything for her changed. It was no more abuse and this and that. It was, oh, I'm gonna separate Kim from all of this. She's gonna be over here and do this that, and the third, and we ain't gonna bring her into that. She got jealous. All this shit about, we only talking about Diddy right now because a group of women who all equally participated and challenged each other were jealous of the next woman because of what he did for the woman after that.
Well, Cassie was jealous because of what he was doing for the woman before. Why did she have
Yes,
Right.
to? Why did she?
And
Why
that
are
yes.
you
typically
taking care of
happens.
her? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
But she
Cause
really was
she really
she
wanted
really
to
was
be the only
jealous of
one.
Young Miami. Oh, she was furious about Young Miami.
I
Her
mean, but of
and
course you would
her
be
and
because
50
he.
Cent baby mama.
What is the thing? Because Young
But he learned at that
Miami,
stage. He learned from his ways at that
it ain't
stage.
even he learned. She is a hustler. Like she came in, she didn't come in with the same mentality as everybody else. She
Yeah.
came in on that G shit though, like nah. But at the end of the day, so everything that Cassie wanted, as far as him helping with her career, him doing him, Young Miami got that. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I
Young
say he
Miami
learned.
did a little show, a little YouTube show, nothing that big, but you got your first guesses, P Diddy. Come on now.
And
Hmm
he older
Of
now
course you
too. I'm
gonna be
sorry.
that. Of course you gonna have
That
all of
too,
that.
Lynn.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
he was
think
just like, eh.
I think that, when men get older, they start kind of. I think in a way, Diddy was trying to like right some of his wrongs. Like he knew, um, he didn't do right by Cassie. Obviously, he promised her all this stuff. But I also think that Young Miami didn't come into the relationship trying to be in love with him and be his girl and do all that crap.
She
She
did.
really, no, I'm
She's
not
just trying to
saying.
smash.
I'm not
We
saying.
go together real bad. We gonna spend every
I'm not.
Hmm
single
I'm not
we she
saying.
spent every
I'm not saying.
single
I'm not
holiday with
saying.
him.
I'm not saying that she didn't want a relationship with him, but what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
you're right. That's
she
true.
also about her money as well.
Well, I mean, that's why I said she came in with a different look. Even in their interview, you see what he is. He was a daddy dom to her. He wasn't the sadist dom to her. He
Yeah,
was
Right,
a
and
daddy
I
And
do
right.
she
dom.
think he
loved
got
that. She
older.
loved
He
that
got
though.
older.
She yeah,
Yes.
but I'm saying that's the what she drew out of him,
Hmm
right? Where Cassie
Yeah.
was she didn't have that wherewithal about her yet. She was real young when he first
She
got
was
her.
young. Yeah, she was too young for that.
Carisha knew what the fuck she wanted and what she liked and how she is and all
She
of
was
that.
already in the
And
lifestyle.
she's a brat, but she's also a baby girl. And so he
Yeah,
daddy domed her.
brats no
And so
brats don't.
she got that out of him because he was a daddy dom. So it
Yeah.
was
Brats
like,
no
this my
brats.
baby. I'm about to do this for you. What you mean no brats?
Brats no
But Young
brats.
Miami was also jealous
What
of
that
the
mean? What
Diddy.
other she like? Cassie wasn't a brat.
She wasn't a
No,
brat.
I said I'm talking
You said
about a
she
brat.
was a brat.
You
I
said
said
you
a
was
brat.
talking.
Brats know how to identify other brats.
Oh,
Why
Absolutely,
y'all acting
you're
like y'all
funny.
don't
absolutely.
know what the hell I'm
You
talking
real
about?
No,
funny.
I'm sorry, I
Okay.
didn't hear you right. I needed clarification. I just can't. I just put my headphones back on. Damn. Like I had to go to
He
the
funny.
bathroom. Like we've been on here for an hour.
But she is. She a brat and but she a baby girl too. So she don't overstep her bounds like that. She ain't trying to tell you what to do. But she welcomes him taking care of her. You know what I'm saying? He did that big ass apology for her with all them flowers and all that. Like he was going all out for her because she was the baby girl.
Well,
Yeah, but he
yeah.
learned though. He learned. He learned from Cassie. He
He
learned
did.
that ultimately that was his 50 cent baby mama off. And speaking real quick of this, I gotta say this.
Go ahead. Say the
I
obvious
ain't
because
in no way am I, because I don't like Puffy at all. But I know is right and wrong is wrong. Puffy is the biggest winner in a lot of people's eyes as it pertains to this mini beef with 50. Because 50 for years has been attacking, and nobody knew why he was attacking Puffy so hard.
Until
Mm-hmm.
The
his
mere
baby mama
fact,
shit came out.
Yeah.
yes,
And so I
I'm
knew
just
you
telling
was
you
about
right
to
now,
be.
I ain't
I
saying nothing
knew.
about 50
I
Cent. That man is
knew.
petty. I am
Sean,
good on
I
that.
knew
I
you
love
was about
50.
to
I
be
yeah,
love
Captain
50.
fucking obvious. I knew you was about to say
yeah, but the mere fact
it.
that all his beef, his anger and energy, all this trolling Puffy the whole time, he got your baby mama turning tricks, fool. What is we
He
talking
said,
about?
Well, I
50
mean,
Cent said, you little sex worker, you.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
called
I
your
just,
own
I
baby
just,
mama a sex worker after
He
it comes
was a
out.
sex
But
worker.
right, but my whole thing is you got a baby by her.
Yeah, so he got a baby
But
by
it
Puffy
was
called
her.
your
something. It
baby
was.
mama.
It was something that he didn't know. Like he didn't
My
know it
thing
was
is
within
that
I
Nah,
find it
50
him.
knew.
very
No,
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 he
no,
knew.
nah.
unlikely
50
that
He knew
he
knew.
that
didn't
nigga, and if
know.
50
50,
I'm
knew.
50
He
sorry.
didn't,
knew.
he knew, but he didn't know.
No, he
Nah.
knew.
He
When
He
he
knew,
got
just
but
her
he
in
ain't like
didn't
bed
the
and
do it.
fact
seen how
that
freaky she was,
he ain't like the
so
fact
you
that
know.
it was that it was Puffy. Like Puffy,
It, it-
could do that. And
yeah,
then
He wouldn't have
he ain't
liked it
even
if it
putting you
was
I
on
think
no
that's
kind
what
of
I'm
anybody.
saying.
level.
Like
But
he
then
didn't
he
know
ain't
it
even
was
putting you on
Puffy.
no
Like,
type of level either. Like you're literally a sex worker. Like you're not the girlfriend. You're not the the stylist.
He made it
you're
You're
clear.
literally a
nothing.
sex worker. Like
He made it clear.
so, you
He
know what I'm
made it
saying.
clear
So
to
it's
her.
like that's disrespectful. And then
Well,
you
to
allowing
50,
Well,
him
she
to
yeah.
probably
disrespect me.
chose Diddy over him, so he's like,
But
yeah.
you're choosing to be his sex worker.
No,
Like
I
I'm your
agree with
baby
him.
father, and
I'm
so
just
it's like
saying.
disrespectful to him too.
I just
Right,
think it's
because you don't
weird to
got to
call
do
Yeah, he
that.
your
disrespect
baby
the hell
Like,
out
like,
of her.
mama
like
a sex
50
worker.
don't like to give bitches no money, but yo, you choose to be Diddy sex worker. Bitch, I
Yeah,
got
Yeah,
Diddy,
like
50
you
Diddy,
should be
Diddy
a
pay for her
sex
a couple
worker.
stacks on
10,000 a
you.
month rent.
Like, yeah, like he got money for you. Like, just don't do that.
But Puff Daddy was not paying him enough, baby. Did you see
Nah, I
that?
ain't saying he was paying him enough, but he
I know,
paying ten
but
thousand
we're
dollars
not
rent.
gonna
Yeah.
deny 50 fucking stinginess
No, forget
when it
that. He
comes
No.
to
was not
bitches.
paying them enough though. Like
The sex workers for the freak offs when they was
Girl,
like, "Oh,
I
I
know,
made two
girl, I
thousand
know.
dollars."
one
I'm
I
girl
just
was
made
like,
saying.
like
two
I, I,
thousand
like
I'm
dollars.
just
no, the
trying
one
to
chick
build.
made like
I'm just trying to set up.
150,000 in 2 years. Like, girl,
I'm
you
just
could have
trying
got
to
a
set
How
job.
much?
up.
Wait, I didn't
I'm
hear
just
what
trying to
Denise
set up
said. I'm sorry, honey said.
the desperation of a woman that will want to do that because 50
That's
ain't
not
giving
no
up the
desperation.
bucks.
Fuck the
It
desperation. That
has
makes
to
no
be.
sense. No, that makes no sense. None of that makes
It-
no sense because you're not getting no
But
money like
wait,
that. You was getting
but
more money from child support probably than you was from
Mm-mm.
any freak off. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
so
She
honey,
was
Not
how
getting
fucking
much
ten
with
is
thousand
50.
dollars a month rent.
If it was 50,000 a month,
honey?
10.
How much you said she made?
I don't know how to
She's
get.
still getting it. She still paid. I mean, he still pays her rent for another year.
who 50?
Wait,
No, Diddy.
I was
Diddy
trying to figure
pays
out.
50 baby mamas rent
Mm-hmm.
every month. This whole shit, do the testimony, all of this. She's still getting paid rent money.
Oh, okay.
See,
Well,
I'm going to blame 50 because he's a cheap bitch ass nigga, and this is why he got you
that's his
next.
baby mama. She don't
Oh
need
my
he don't need
god.
to do all of that for her. But then I mean, look, if you gonna go to his ops, you know how that nigga is. That nigga canceled a whole TV show over somebody going to his ops. You
Yeah,
can't do
that's
But
that.
he
true.
just couldn't do that with Diddy, and that frustrated him
Yeah,
No,
he
he couldn't do
couldn't.
it with his baby mama.
because she
Yeah,
went to Diddy.
Diddy had more
She
weight.
found the
Yeah,
op he couldn't
Mm-hmm.
fuck with.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna
So
call this.
so
I'm
he spent
morphine.
his
I'm gonna call a
time.
spade a spade.
So he spent his time,
yo,
dogging that man.
Diddy never said one word to 50 Cent. Not one
Not a
through
damn
this
Why
thing.
would
whole
he need
time.
to though?
He
Why
didn't
would he
even
need
Yo,
say
to?
50 Cent
dudes is
name.
screaming in the background of his birthday fucking message to himself, and he still ain't say nothing about 50.
Nope.
He
Like
don't
And
have
that's
to.
it's
crazy.
Why would he
and
have
that's
to say something to
crazy,
50?
right?
That was a wild video. It
That's
very much
crazy. Like you
disturbed
would
my soul.
expose that part
That
of yourself.
video
And I said that
was
to
weird.
say you would expose Diddy. You would expose that part of yourself, but you want to address this shit here, nigga.
That man
Yes,
had a
let's
whole
hold you
man
accountable for
screaming
that.
in the background.
You
What
had a
in the
whole
world?
nigga screaming in your background while you singing happy birthday to you, but you're not addressing all this other shit that is
This
being
man said,
allegedly
"Happy
said by
birthday to
you.
me. Happy
Like,
birthday
nigga,
to me."
what? You're
And a man is in the background. Ah! Like what is this?
back to me
What is
saying my favorite words is contingency and complacency. And that nigga complacency was at a high low, nigga.
What
It
the
was at
hell
a
is he
high
talking
low.
about?
And
What are you
how can you
talking
have a high low?
about? What are you talking about? What are you saying?
Diddy's
There's a video.
complacency.
There's a video where Diddy is
Yeah.
singing happy
I won't
birthday
take
to
anything
himself.
that Diddy said does lightly. It clearly was a message to
Listen,
somebody.
listen, honey. He's saying happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. And in the background, you just hear this man screaming, ah! Like he's in the most pain he's ever been, and Diddy ain't
Hmm.
flinch at all. That crap is crazy.
And he
I'm
didn't
sure
say
it would probably be
anything.
a message to somebody though. Like, are we slow? We're
Yeah,
talking
we
about
might
Yeah,
be
Diddy.
slow.
he was
I
sending
thought
a
we
I
were
message.
might
talking
be
about
slow.
Diddy. Diddy.
I might be a slow because
Diddy
you
Yeah,
be
know
not a
I'm
might, not
Diddy
might, not a
everywhere.
little.
Diddy is
Sean. Don't make me hurt
everywhere.
you, sir.
I was saying,
Don't
honey,
He
start.
said,
that
"Sir,
like you was confused. I was saying
Don't
since I
start.
said it, I brought it up. I was saying, honey, that he had that whole video going out, and he still didn't say shit about nothing that was happening with 50. He didn't address nothing about anything he was alleged
I
accused
just think
of,
that man
but
is a
he was
narcissistic
exposing the
psychopath.
fuck
preaching for
out
him."
himself the whole time.
He's a narcissistic
That's what
psychopath.
I was saying. That was my point.
But he
The
don't
whole
even get
time he was
said
exposing
nothing.
himself, but he ain't addressed shit. That was my point.
You don't have to. That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. 50. Who the fuck is 50 Cent?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I mean, I
he
needed that
ain't on the same
response from
level.
you. I need that response. That's the response honey would give.
Like, who is that? Like, to Diddy? 50 Cent is
He did.
everywhere.
He yeah. Did he minimize the hell out of 50 Cent? I'm gonna take your baby mama and I'm gonna take your other girlfriend and hit on the low too. But
So
now I
that
want to go
that
back to the point Leslie was saying that dudes like to pass around chicks. I like to mess with other dude. That ain't the thing. It's just in their circles and
I feel
their
that.
lifestyle. In their
Mhm.
circles and their lifestyle, a lot of these women that you see going from these different artists are the women are intentionally doing that, and the artist is just like she a bust down.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm not dismissing the fact that that's true. I never said that.
It's the
I'm
But
psychology
yeah,
of it, like
the
psychological thing.
Yeah, it's just a lot psychological that thing that in this conversation that maybe blessed be is like, yo, no, fuck that.
I mean, I understand that people have their things, right? But I also understand that there's some people that like him and he's a narcissistic psychopath.
Lizzie, you like the pastor? Tell me you ain't think about kissing the
Are
pastor.
you showing us downtown Tennessee?
What are you even talking about? Can
Earlier
you
we was
stay
talking
on
about kinks.
topic?
That's one of your kinks. But go ahead. I
Can
am on
you check
topic.
your ADHD, please,
I
sir?
mean,
And
I ain't
focus
got no
on
Talking about
ADHD.
something.
just turn the
First of
camera
all,
around a
Because
we
you
little
wasn't
doing
even
and
everything
just
talking
leave it
about
else.
there.
kinks. We was not talking about kinks.
I know that I just brought
Because
it up.
he keep trying to deflect and crap.
He
And he called
funny.
me slow.
You is.
No, I'm not slow.
You said it.
I said I
I
might be.
agree.
I didn't say I am
You didn't say
slow.
you might be.
Yes,
He
I
said,
did.
"I agree." Somebody
There's
I
agree.
some
said we might
messages.
be slow. I said
There's
we
some
might
I
be
messages
said I
slow.
agree. You are.
on YouTube that y'all should be replying to. There's some messages on YouTube y'all should be
Man,
replying
I'm
to.
not replying to
So was Kim Porter
Andy.
a masochist? That's what Ray Ray said.
We back to that.
I
Ray
would
Ray
think
Yes,
said
that.
the
because we're
amount of
on
men
topic.
nervous around
Hey,
him.
listen, Ray
And
Ray.
the yeah,
I think that anybody who deals with Diddy has to be a masochist because he's a sadist. Like
yeah.
anybody that deals with him, if you're even a close friend of him, you're probably a masochist.
Hey, no. Hold on. Time out. Yo, no, hold on. Are you sure that she's that? Because Kim gives Dom vibes.
Dom vibes. She could have never gave a
Wow.
Dom vibe.
Go sit down
I don't
somewhere.
see that. I don't see
Look,
that in
pull
the
a picture
book.
of her up. Pull a picture of her. Of course you're not, cause
How
she
can
ain't write
you
it.
tell a
A
Pull
per?
up.
How can you
picture.
Pull
tell
up.
by a
Pull.
No.
No, no,
picture?
no. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you look at somebody, you can tell. You hold on.
What?
Time out. Hold on.
Look at
Let
somebody.
me speak to honey real quick.
It's
Hold on.
only
Let
No,
me have a
don't.
one on one real fast. Real
No,
fast. Two
don't talk
minutes.
to me.
Two
No,
minutes.
I don't want to talk to
what
you.
is that?
Honey,
Give me time.
real quick.
I don't want to talk to you.
As it pertains to the lifestyle.
When did you
Yeah.
become a
Don't
lifestyle guru?
don't turn your head.
That's
There
what
are
I'm trying to figure
people.
out.
It's
When did you
uncomfortable.
There
become
are
a
people.
lifestyle guru?
Bro, come on, bro. I'm not
I don't
slow.
With
think
your
that Kim
vanilla
Porter
self.
was a dom. She was not a
You
dom.
No,
okay?
but I'm trying to
She
think.
was
What
not a
was the
dom.
question? What was
Or
your
Because I
you're
don't
seeing
question?
think she was a
dominance and
dom either.
submissive. You're looking. Do you see
But what?
dominance and submissiveness? Is that
But
what you
no,
seeing,
Where
Sean?
was she submissive? I
what
mean,
is
what
what
example of
trying to say?
submissiveness did we
According
have
to
from Kim?
What are you
allegedly,
talking about?
allegedly,
Wait, hold
according to
on,
the book.
hold on. What were you even going to
With
say?
that I'm throwing the whole book away. I'm saying that ain't even Kim talking. That's somebody
Okay.
trying to butter her up.
I don't agree. I don't think that was Kim either.
What I'm saying to you is when we had an opportunity to see Kim in certain settings or events or passing by, she didn't give off that type of vibe that none of y'all never watched her like walking across how she looked at the other women and y'all didn't get that?
Is that because
No.
she was a
Yo, come on.
model? Is that the model in her
I
that you're
think that
seeing?
she's just a model or she's a
Yeah,
professional.
you're
And
seeing
she
the model
and
in
she
her.
and Kim had her own businesses. Like she was a hustler. Like
Oh my
she was
God,
Most
her
bro.
own boss.
importantly, she was the
She
model
turned
that he
Diddy out.
dated.
She turned Diddy out. Um, and
No,
y'all gonna
what
sit here
are
and
you
say,
talking about?
She
Word,
turned
What
Diddy
is
out.
bro,
word.
you
I
need to
don't
sit
agree
down
with that.
somewhere,
yeah,
bro. You
I don't.
really reaching.
I get what you're
yeah.
saying on the angle that
Please stop trolling.
she was the modern day young Miami that was down with the ish. But I'm gonna build on something that
She
I
was
don't
the
think
old
that,
school
given
OG.
what he was doing, she could not have been the dom because she'd have been Cassie's dom.
right.
Right. At
But I
what
Who
think
point
it
said?
was
was the
she
thing that she being down with it, and she was
Hold on.
like a little older when he fucked
I
with
do
her.
not think that she was a dom at all. I'm
Like,
sorry.
no, what I'm
Yeah,
saying
that's
is
crazy.
if she was the dom and he was her sub, then she would have also been Cassie's dom. That's the only way that the sub would have been getting anything off.
Yeah, because there's no way
She'd have had to been both of their
she couldn't
doms.
have,
And
because
instead he
Cassie
was
couldn't have
both of
been her
theirs.
dom if she was a dom.
Right.
Cassie was never her dom. Cassie was
That's what
his
I'm saying.
sub. Yeah,
That's
they
what I'm
both was
saying.
under
That doesn't
him.
make sense.
Yeah, they both were subs. I don't. That's why I asked. Like, do
Like
you
she could have
give?
a dominant personality. I have a dominant personality if I'm in the lead of something, but that
She
has nothing
got a
to do with if
dominant
I'm around a
personality
dom.
until somebody dom herself.
Yeah.
Because she was
Yeah.
older when she dated him.
We need a
Out
video.
of
We need the
the
videos. I
girlfriends,
bet you we're gonna
out
see
of
the
the
videos of
I
girlfriends,
whips
just
and
don't think
chains and
that
all
out
that.
of the
everything. I
women
Mm-hmm.
that
don't.
he
She gonna
was,
we
I
What?
get
don't know,
busy.
in
I
his
don't
lifetime.
understand what you're saying.
And, she was the oldest woman he dated in publicly,
Publicly.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
because
true.
don't
What
think
she's
that
saying is true
he
she was the
as far as
oldest
age
woman.
is concerned.
Yeah, she was older than J Lo when he dated her. Like she was the oldest woman he dated publicly,
wasn't she living in his like guest house when he was dating J Lo. I heard that allegedly.
Oh
allegedly.
my
That's what I'm
But
God,
saying.
it's a
Like
lot of
like
allegedly. Like
I
we
get
can't get no
what like
facts out of
Sean is
y'all.
saying, but
I'm
I
just
just don't
gonna
allegedly,
agree
I'm
say
with.
just saying I don't know
allegedly.
that it's
Like I
true.
don't agree with that.
I'm not
I
gonna
think
sit
there's
here
an
and say
age
something is
situation.
fact unless I know that something is a fact. So why I can't say allegedly?
Well, it's not allegedly that she was older
No,
than the
I'm
woman
not
that he
saying that.
dated in
Y'all
publicly.
not
That's a
listening.
fact.
Y'all are not
But I
listening to
do get
me.
what you're saying.
We are
I'm
listening, Lindsay.
I'm
Dang.
No, you're
like I'll
not.
get what you're
Hold on.
saying, but
Keisha, hold
I'm just
on.
saying
Hold on.
that.
What were you saying, Lindsay, was alleged?
I'm saying that when he was with J Lo or Kim, he kind of didn't even tell Kim that he was with J Lo. He kind of just moved her in, and Kim was staying in his like guest house or something, or it might be the other way around. But
Can we look
anyway,
up? Can we try to
I
confirm
said
that?
that's allegedly. I don't know that to be
Well,
true. I
yeah, all
don't know
that's
how you can
allegedly.
confirm that because
Yeah.
I don't know. if
I'm
anybody's
saying,
telling the truth.
wouldn't we be able to find? I mean, that's true, but what I'm saying, wouldn't we be able to find like a first-hand account of someone who was there? That's what I'm saying. We have
But
people
a
who
lot of
were there.
people,
No, because that
This
would
unless
be
dude kept
hearsay.
teams
unless
That
around
would be
him.
Diddy,
hearsay.
unless
I
Sean,
Diddy,
Sean,
understand.
that would be
Listen
J
to me.
hearsay.
Lo, or Kim said
Listen
it
to
in
me. I
passing, you know.
understand that, but what we do is
Okay,
called this
so
thing called cross-reference.
I just
So
looked
if
up.
even if someone
Okay,
is
but this is
claiming
not a
something,
research paper, sir. This is just us having a
I just looked
do
conversation.
up
we?
something
Relax.
on this, right? Just was he living with her? And it says
Right.
yes, while Diddy was dating J Lo, he was still living with Kim Porter. Reports indicate that Kim and Diddy were in an on again, off again relationship and were living together during the time Diddy and J Lo were together.
Well, there's that.
It
Lindsay was
says
right.
Kim even kicked Diddy out because of the situation with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
So now, hold on. Now, my point is, since this ain't a fucking research, is that we could cross-reference that because
We
we
can
can
cross
now
reference
see.
that.
Yeah, exactly. We damn can because what we can do is go find the fucking
Sean, I
evidence.
thought we were
What
friends.
evidence
I
would we
feel
have?
like you're being a
No,
jerk.
no, I'm not being a
The
jerk. I'm
goal.
Yeah,
trying
you
to tell
are.
you that
He's
no,
being a
you
jerk.
just told me we can't.
And
We
Lindsay
can
was
use
right.
methodology on every goddamn thing we having a conversation about. So we
Oh
feel
my
like
god.
even though we're saying allegedly, we can go find evidence to support. Then we can build on that. But it's okay. I understand. Go ahead. I'll be quiet.
Sean, don't make me
Kim
hurt
Porter's
you.
the Dom.
She's
Kim
not the
Porter,
dom.
She the Dom.
No, she's not.
Kim Porter's the dog.
He's just so
What the fuck?
aggravating. God, just ugh. Now he was
Why are
talking
you
about
so
some.
aggravated by it?
He was
I don't
talking
Why is you
about
so
agree.
some.
aggravated by it? Why is you
I
He
don't
was
aggravated
agree
talking
by
she
it?
was
about
a
some.
dom.
Because you trying to get okay, I understand.
Because you're trying to say that she's a dom, and we've already explained why she couldn't be the dom, and you're still insisting that she's a
How
dom.
would you know you don't know the lifestyle?
What? I mean, I have common sense.
I'm like,
Cool.
No,
But
you
it's
don't.
two
okay,
to
No, you
but
don't.
it's 2 to 1,
Yes, I
Sean. It's two
do.
to one. Like I don't agree. Honey don't agree. It's two to
Y'all are
one.
females though.
It's
So
three
yes,
to
so y'all supposed
one.
to stick
It's three
together.
to one. It's three to
You
one.
neutral. You don't
So
count. You a church
okay.
girl.
how am I
So then,
neutral?
Go
First
read
of
the
uh,
all,
Bible.
wait a
so
minute. Just because I wait, no, let
go
me
read
say
the
this.
Bible.
Just because I'm not in the lifestyle community doesn't mean I don't understand the basic concepts of BDSM. So what you're saying is inaccurate.
What's the
I
basic
can
concepts? I want you
understand
to
what a
explain it to
dominant
us.
person is. I can
Tell
understand what a
me the
submissive. No, we're
basics of
not gonna do that,
BDSM.
sweetie, because I'm not honey. You're not gonna sit
Why?
here
I'm
and try to
asking you
put
a
me
question.
down,
Why
sir.
you
I
gotta be
said
her?
what I
I ain't
said,
put
and
her
I'm
down.
not
I ain't
retracting
putting
what
you
I
down.
said. I'm
I
not
just
about to
asked you
do
for an
that with no boo
explanation.
boo.
I
This is
asked you
not
for
a
an
dominant
explanation.
submissive
What
type
Can
did
we
I
get
say?
an
situation, bro.
explanation
No, you
for
don't need no
BDSM?
explanation. You're
Can
a
you come on,
lifestyle
school
guru.
us?
You know
No,
your
no,
lifestyle
why?
guru.
No,
You know
no.
what it is. I'm
Won't
not
you?
telling you
No,
no.
why
We're
you
not
can't? Why
doing
you
that.
can't
I
tell us?
said what
Why
I
you in your
said.
feelings? I said what I
I
said.
have an
Just because you said what you
understanding
said don't
of
mean
what
nothing.
BDSM is.
Okay,
Kim
so
is
it's people
not
in
a
the chat that
dom.
don't.
Kim
It is
is
people in
not
the
a
chat that don't.
dom.
So can you
She's
explain
not
it
a
to
dom.
us?
No, I'm
Can
not
you
explaining
explain it to the
shit. We've
people
been
that just
having a
showed up?
whole conversation about it,
But
bro.
what if I
I'm
just
not
tuned
doing
in
that.
and
I
I
don't
don't know?
care.
Can you
I
explain
don't
it?
care. Then get off the
If I just
panel.
tuned
Then
in,
get off the
see,
panel, bro.
see, no,
Get
no, no,
off the
honey
panel.
Clark,
No,
see,
ain't
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
hold
no,
on,
no,
Lindsay,
no,
hold
no,
on,
no, no,
Stop
Lindsay,
no.
picking
Ain't
on that
no,
woman.
no. Leave
Stop
hold
me
on,
picking on
Lindsay,
that
alone.
woman.
Yeah,
Leave
y'all
me
be
Lindsay,
quiet.
alone.
Stop
honey
picking
Clark,
Because
on
to this
honey
her.
Clark.
moment,
You remember how
I
you
Just
don't
used to tell
stop.
me
what
that
are
I
Just
you
needed to
stop.
talking
do
about?
X,
You
Y,
don't
and
know
Z,
anything
and you
about
just
me,
heard
bro.
her say what she
You
just
don't
said?
know
Look
anything
at her, there she
about
in her
me.
Stop
goddamn
picking on
feelings.
her.
You don't know nothing
I don't
about me,
even know.
bro.
I
You
ain't
just
even saying
over
nothing
here
else.
trying to be
What are you talking about?
disingenuous.
I didn't even
You
say
trying to be
You
disingenuous
still
and try to
talking?
act
I ain't.
like
No,
I
I'm not.
can't
No, I'm
understand or
not.
Very
comprehend
I asked you a
disingenuous.
what's
question.
being
I
saying.
just asked you
What's
to
being
recap what
said. I
BDSM is.
said that she's
You got
not a
offended.
dom.
How did you get offended?
I'm not
How
a
did you get
dom.
offended?
She's
How
not a
how would
I'm
you
dom.
so
know?
sorry. I cannot do this. I'm trying to look the shit up and I can't even do it.
Go to hell, Sean. I
Nah, I
don't ever
gotta
want
go
to talk to you again, for real, bro. You're a fucking asshole.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know what kind of kink you got, but
Mm,
stay the fuck away from me.
this motherfucker say what?
What kind of kinky you got? Keisha,
Mm,
what's going on?
Yes. I'm having like really technical difficulties over here.
I see. This thing asked me how to be a dom in the bedroom. What type of doms are there? What do y'all really want me to read this? Hello?
Nah, you ain't gotta read it. She said we ain't recapping. Fuck everybody in the chat.
Well, we didn't do this. We were talking about masochists and sadists. So we have daddy mommy dominance, right? Scolding, spanking, reassuring, protecting, praising. That's daddy mommy dominant. That is Diddy and Carisha's relationship.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I was having really like bad technical
We
difficulties.
got masters and mistresses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this apparently never ends.
I mean,
This is
it's
a
it's
24/7 thing where you have like a slave and you're the master and you control their entire life. They need permission to do everything: masturbate, eat, go to the bathroom, speak. And when orders are not followed directly, they can get, uh, in trouble. And uh, they're in charge of the slave's physical, mental, emotional, and financial well-being. Then we have brat tamers. Well, somebody over here knows what that is. Brat
mm,
tamer, as you might have guessed. They deal with brats, bratty subs.
Child, please.
mm, mm.
Aspects of brat taming: they
Lizzie, you okay now?
No,
physically
I'm not.
restraining
Fuck
and
you.
You not
overpowering,
okay yet?
Fuck you.
I mean, at
giving
least I
orders,
asked about your well being.
Go to hell.
punishment,
I'm so
Not
sick
until
of
you
this
go there
nigga.
first.
I'm so sick of him. Like he can just go to hell. Go all the way to hell. Whatever atheist hell there is. Go take your ass there, nigga.
Oh my god! You're like, oh, we supposed to do that?
Cause now him
How are
trying to
you?
fucking dominate me while asking me what a dom is. Bitch, I will cuss you the fuck out. The fuck
Oh,
you
this is
mean?
taking responsibility, right? So,
Mm.
brat tamers, they give orders, they provide punishment, they show strength, like they don't back down from the brats. They remain patient and respectful. Respectful. I should send this to somebody on the panel.
Yeah,
Showing the brats
Girl,
that
definitely.
they are
Send that
not
to the
too much
girl,
panel.
to handle and are cared
girl,
for.
Damn
girl.
sadist.
Yes, you
Super
are.
sadist.
Yes, you are.
No, that's you.
Nah, that's you.
No, that's
I
you.
love when y'all express yourself
You a
about
sadist.
yourself.
Go ahead. Continue, Denises.
So, like, that's just different kinds of doms, right? So, say this would have been a rope top rigger. I didn't get to that because y'all ain't gonna let me get through this because y'all are crazy, actually.
No,
Now
I'll
they're not
let
gonna
you
let you
get
get
through it.
through it
I'm gonna let you get
because they
through it.
so emotional about it.
No, you got emotional when I
No,
said
no,
this ain't a research paper.
no,
You got
no.
in your
You get
little
emotional.
feelings and you started your little bull crap. Well, see,
No, I
everything can be
didn't.
explained with
No, I didn't.
methodology because you like to
Because it
be in
can.
control of crap and you
No,
wanted to control the way we build
no,
on this conversation and
no.
you got mad.
You
Yes,
kept saying
yes,
allegedly.
yes,
You said you kept saying
yes,
allegedly. I didn't
yes.
get
You
mad.
got mad, boo boo.
You
And
got mad.
okay, just
I
say
didn't
you
get
got
mad.
mad and call it a day
I
because
didn't get
that's what
mad. You
it
got mad.
was. You got mad because you wanted to take
Mm-mm.
over this
Go.
conversation
You need to
and
go
do
get
your
rewind.
methodology
And I
that
didn't
you
even try to
do.
take over no
You don't need to
conversation.
do you need to do a rewind.
Lindsay,
Yes, you
Lindsay,
did. This whole
Lindsay.
time,
No,
bro,
I
you've
didn't.
been deflecting. You turn your
No,
camera
I
on to
ain't.
show us the
You know,
sideline.
Sean,
You
it's
was
not
you was
fair
doing
that
a
you
lot.
picking on the vanilla person in the room. It's
Man, I ain't
really
got nothing
not
to do with
fair.
her. I ain't got
He is
nothing
a
to do
vanilla
It's just
person.
not
with
fair,
Why y'all act
you
like
Okay.
he's
know.
not a vanilla person? He is the biggest vanilla.
That's
You
what I'm
sure?
trying to say. Why you over here trying to give him a lifestyle guru badge and he's just as vanilla as me? Like, what's wrong with you?
What are you
All right,
talking
so
about?
all right, well, good. I'm happy that y'all said that. So the question is reversed. Sean, what is a dominant person in your POV?
I just
Oh,
basically been giving
so take
examples
out
of
a
that
man.
this entire show, even in the chat.
Oh, he
But that's
can't
not the
answer it,
question.
can he?
What is
It
your
is.
Oh,
I answered it.
POV? What
Oh,
is
you
your
can't tell us.
point of
I
view
provided it.
of a
I've already
dominance
provided my
and a
point of view.
BDSM?
What the fuck?
You know,
What did squirting have to do with submissive brats? Like, who made
absolutely.
this?
Because it's
I don't
about
get that.
control.
Oh my god! And I'm showing this. I'm so sorry.
You getting on my nerves. I can't with this nigga.
What did you just say, Sean?
It's about control.
What's about control? Squirting?
Dominance.
Oh,
Dominance
you
No,
is
know what?
no,
Then
it's
dominance.
I take it back. He
No,
not trying to. He trying to be a
no.
He trying to be a brat submissive.
What the hell?
Bruh, I'm
Yo,
so confused. What's going
Hey, if
yo,
I
on?
wasn't at work,
Like,
if I wasn't at work right now, I would say a couple of things.
a brat submissive.
a
Why you being
bratty,
bratty?
a brat tamer?
No,
That's what
brat submissive.
he's a brat. Damn.
A
Oh,
brat submissive.
I just had that on the screen. So let's read about it. A
Okay.
Now,
submissive brat.
a submissive brat.
Mm,
Can you magnify that for the people that wear glasses?
you can't
I
see
can
him?
read it if y'all want.
I can't read that.
No, it's too
I need to
big.
turn my screen
Space still too big.
sideways.
Down
Turn my
big.
I mean,
screen
I
Hi,
could have
sideways.
everybody.
read the way you had it. Yeah, I can read that.
All right, I can read that. I just turned my screen sideways. You know, there we go.
I'm hot as fuck, bro.
So a
Hmm.
brat submissive might. Where did it go?
I know. There we go.
Oh, a brat submissive might not seem obedient or all that submissive from the outsider's point of view. However, a closer look shows this how this type of submissive likes to push buttons, but it's all done in play. Doing so gets the brat's attention from their partner, who is often known as a brat tamer. For a brat, this attention is the ultimate reward. And then it says squirting and yeah,
Okay,
okay. Examples and ideas for being a submissive brat. Talking
So,
back.
so, an example of the squirting part, right? For
no, we
women
don't
that
need
can.
an example of that. What are you
No,
talking
hold on. Let
about?
me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish, bro. Let me
He really
finish.
wants
Let
to
me
talk
finish.
about this, apparently.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. So, some women, right, in these settings, right, some of them can't do it. Some of them don't like to for it to be done, but some of them lose control when there's certain things that occur, right?
Hmm.
Never mind. Let me be quiet. Go ahead, Lindsay.
Yeah, see,
You
Continue.
I
said
don't know
lose
why
control.
you just want to
Hold on,
confuse
hold on,
yourself
hold on.
now.
Word.
Why did you start talking?
Yeah,
Because what are you
you
talking
know
about,
what
sir?
I'm talking
That's
about.
I'm trying
She
to
just
figure
said
it out.
squatting.
I don't know
Yes,
where you see that.
it was an
What
example.
what did you just
Squirting
say?
magic guide. That's a reference. That
No,
has
I
nothing
doesn't.
to.
What I'm saying is that I don't
No,
understand
stop. We ain't we
it.
reading the BDSM guide?
What?
Huh?
Aren't we reading from the BDSM guide?
Yes.
Right there. Stop.
Yeah. Why are you saying that? Stop.
Okay. Three examples and ideas for being a submissive brat. Talking back when given out to. Disobeying orders when instructed to do something. Right? That's what Lindsay's doing. Resisting as your dom restrains you. Right? These are all three things that Lindsay is doing on the panel today.
That
Because
sounds
she
just
said
like
somebody was
you.
trying to.
That sounds exactly like what you're doing right now. That
Right. These are the
describes
three things. Hold
Sean's
on. Let me
pee
finish.
to a
Let me
T.
finish. Let me
Like,
finish.
why you
Let me
This
finish.
is
Morphine.
deflection.
Calm down. Calm
This is
down. Let me finish. Calm.
deflection.
Calm down. I'm about to get back to squirting. I'm
Oh
about to
my
Disgrace.
get back to
god.
squirting. I just
You
need
talking
you to
to
be
These is
quiet
Lindsay?
the
real quick. I
words
just
Okay.
want to
that
throw
is
those
put
shots at
upon
Who
Lindsay.
my
am I
face.
talking
Now,
back to, bro? Like
now that I got those examples out of the way,
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go back to squirting. I'm going back to squirting.
We gotta make Sean squirt now.
No, no,
no, sir,
no comment.
sir,
All
hold
right,
on, wait a
so
Yeah, he
minute.
just explained
Wait a minute.
himself.
Wait a minute. I think that since you made that comment, I should
nah,
be
nah,
able
nah,
to
nah. You ain't get
I should be
I
able to
ain't
talk.
finished.
No,
I ain't
wait, wait,
finished. You
wait,
gonna let you talk. We
wait.
gonna let you
No,
talk. Nope,
talking
nope,
back
nope. No,
and
no, no,
disobeying
no,
orders.
no,
What
no.
orders?
Yeah, yeah.
Who?
I gave an order. I
I
gave
was
you an
trying to
order
understand
earlier.
who the Dom was that you wasn't listening to.
That's what I'm
I,
trying to
That's what
figure
I was
out.
confused about. I was like, what?
Like this
And
I
man.
gave you the
salute.
order.
I thing
I
was
gave you the order
too.
earlier.
I
I
was
gave
like,
Who
you
was the
what?
dog
the.
you not listening to?
You said there's so many
Yo.
orders. Like, what's
Can I
So
going
hold
finish,
on. So
man?
wait. So
Oh,
wait.
Let
Hold
me
okay.
on.
finish.
Go
Hold
So
finish.
on,
you're
Lizzie,
telling
Talking
before you
me,
back.
just go.
wait,
Disobeying
wait.
orders.
See,
So you're telling me that
listen.
I'm a
Resisting
You're
brat? Is that
resisting,
what you're telling
sexually.
Lizzie.
me?
You're
You telling me
resisting
I'm a
again.
brat?
Okay,
You're
everybody mute
resisting
so he can
again.
get done, so we
You're
can go
resisting
to
again.
Lindsay because I want to hear what she has to say.
I'm trying to
You're
figure
resisting.
out.
Get
So
done. Get done,
you're
Sean. What
telling you're
else?
telling
What are
you're
we
telling
talking
me
about?
that
Squirting.
you're telling me that I'm a brat?
You all look at the three examples and then look at yourself.
But who is the dom?
That's
Don't
what
worry
I was
about all
trying to
that. Just
say. I didn't understand that. Like, who was the dom in the situation? A dom has to be present for her to be doing all of this.
exactly.
Okay.
The Dom was present. Now be
Where
quiet.
was the
Now
dom?
back to squirting.
Lindsay
No,
is
Who
the
was the
dom.
dom?
no,
Where's the
Lindsay
no,
dom?
is the
definitely not.
goddamn
All right,
dom.
I'm the
definitely
dom?
not. Go back to squirting.
That's what you think, Keisha?
No,
Yes.
no, she ain't.
Okay.
She's gullible. She's too gullible.
I'm too
Anyway, read the squirting
wow.
part right there,
Wait a
please.
minute.
Read the
Why do you
squirting
have to
part.
diss me first? Like, how you
I
gonna
ain't
diss
this
me?
you.
You call me gullible.
No, I ain't this you.
That's
Go ahead.
that's not a diss. That's just how he
Is there
sees you.
God, Lee, that's what
is
I'm
there
saying. Like
any
people take.
positive connotation to gullible?
Okay, so when we're talking about
Read, can you read
squirting,
squirting, please?
Lindsay, go read about squirting.
Okay, fine, whatever. Um, squirting. Any woman can experience the intense pleasure of squirting if you
Mm-hmm.
follow the right process. I
Mm-hmm.
demonstrate the most powerful squirting techniques and explain the process step by step. Okay, that wasn't really much to read
No,
though.
stop, just stop. Click on the squirting magic guide. Click
Bro,
on it.
what is wrong
Let's
with
go.
What
you?
about? We was
Click
talking
on it,
about
honey Clark.
It's
being
not
We
trying
submissive,
gonna get back to that, bro.
but we're talking
This is
about
part
being
of the article that
submissive.
we reading,
God,
though.
Sean,
This
where
part
the
of the article
article?
that we
what the
reading.
heck
Where
is
the
going
article
Click
is
on?
on
crazy.
that. Click on it. Click
I
on it.
already told you. Bro, I'm not reading that. Oh,
What do you mean you not?
Keisha can read that. I'm not reading that. Keisha, this is
Why?
where
Why
you
you,
come in lame.
bro? Can you just
Oh
I
get with the
mean,
God,
program?
hold on,
this
wait,
is
I was
more of a
eating.
Keisha Reed.
Yeah, Keisha, go ahead.
Hey,
Go
make it
exactly.
bigger so they can see it on the screen.
Hold on, wait, I could make it bigger for myself because I got glasses. Okay. Discover how to squirt
Can you see?
effortlessly during sex and masturbation,
Oh
even
my God.
This
even
is
if you
crazy.
have never squirted before. Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's
What
go.
in
Let's
the
go.
hell?
And
Let's go.
before.
This is insane. Like, what is going on?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're fucking it up
What
for
in
me.
the hell is
Stop
going
making me laugh.
on?
All
Oh
right.
my
All right.
god.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Every woman is already capable of squirting and experiencing the mind altering sexual pleasure that comes with it. Oh my god. The problem is most women don't know the simple techniques that will unlock the squirting ability. Before I explain these simple techniques, you may want to hear from the woman who have already used these experiences of squirting for the first time, along with the intense emotion and life altering sexual satisfaction that comes with your body fully
Okay, Keisha,
releasing,
I love you, but I gotta stop you. What is
Why
the
are
point?
you
What is the point of
greedy?
this? What is the point of
releasing.
us reading this,
Really,
sir?
when you
Really
asked
get
me
there.
to read
She
this
Wait,
just let her
shit,
wait,
get down
wait,
there and
hey,
start getting
Lindsay.
examples.
Did you want to read to the examples or did you want, I mean, do you
Yeah,
want to
just the examples. Let's go.
yeah,
wait, hold
you,
on, wait, no,
you,
no, no, wait. I'm saying, do you want to read
Oh no, it's gonna be it.
their list or did you want to read the, like, what the people were saying about it?
because if you
Now we
if you
don't care what the people
experience
say.
this shit, it says it's life altering. Like I just want to stick back.
And it says what other women learned from the squirting magic.
And you got to take it from a woman that did it from the first time. I don't know if y'all was hearing what I was saying, but I definitely articulated that as well as,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
heard you, girl. We
I
heard
know
you.
you did. I know you did.
So
Yes,
what
Because
was
we
I
the
heard
point
you.
of
articulated that
reading
shit.
this now?
Because
What
we learned about the
what
squirt
other
magic.
women learn from squirt and magic? Oh, wait, it's
Oh, what
reloading.
happened?
I wish he would
It's
make his
reloading.
dang on point.
He
He's
don't
doing a
have a
lot.
I
point.
have mixed
I
feelings
do
He's
have
about
a
doing a
point.
squirting.
lot.
What's
Squirting
the
I
magic
do
point?
is
have a
kind
point,
of
but I'm
weird.
working so it get interrupted.
Do y'all niggas
But
want me to
anyway,
read it?
What was
yeah,
the
I
go
have
ahead.
point?
mixed. Listen, I have mixed feelings about squirting. Oh, wait. It's reloading. It's reloading. Uh, it's kind of weird. I always, girl, stop. Can you go back up to the top? Oh yeah, it's kind of weird. I always had a healthy attitude towards sex.
Mm.
Unfortunately, that healthy attitude did not include squirting.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
Wait. In the past, during sex with my husband, I sometimes forgot the feeling of I need to pee. I always shut it down. I held it back and stopped myself from letting go. Heck, I don't want to pee.
Mm, mm.
I don't think there is anything that that would turn him off more, right? And how could I urinate? And cause whoa, shit, here she go with these fucking ten thousand dollar worth.
1079.
Bitch, why you had to say all that? Just say you
That's
had
what
to
she
pee.
I just
Okay,
still want to
This-
know, like, what is his
I need to
point?
pee, and the feeling. Hold on, wait. This I need to pee feeling annoys me so much. I started to search online for solutions. That
Oh
when
God.
I learned this feeling, it has nothing to do with urinary.
incontinence.
It kind of incontinence. I thought that's what the fuck that I could not pronounce
Mhm.
that. Anyway, um, and it was a normal sexual response that led me to this site that start talking about squirting magic. Okay, now this is blah 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 blah. After that, I just want y'all to know.
What? Most
Okay,
importantly,
Okay.
so
What?
Most
so
importantly, I learned how to squirt in my door masturbation. Blah blah blah. Recommended, but it's blah 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 blah
why
blah.
you taking the article off? We got to go back to the other article.
I'm still
Your
trying to wait.
bratty
I'm
mm,
still
source.
waiting on his whole point of this
so
whole
what was the
detour.
point in that? Yeah.
Yeah, so the point in us even reading up to the whole squirt magic, I mean, we probably could have read other examples, but do y'all think this? Well, I had a question and then I can make my point because I already know some people's answers, but I want to hear y'all's answers. So, do you think that a man has the ability to get you to that point you never did that before, and um, is that an example of his dominance over you sexually?
To get you to squirt?
Yeah, to do things that your body's never done before.
Oh,
Mm.
he might know some
um,
things.
he might be
So he
able to
might
help
hold on.
facilitate
He
it.
might, but he might have no. He might be more experienced in things that you never
Done before.
like done, right? So I don't know necessarily if that would be dominance. It might make you
Okay,
feel that way though.
I don't know if
what
it
if
would
you?
be. Can I? Wait. You asked a question. All of us didn't
I'm
answer
quiet.
it.
I'm quiet.
Okay, so I don't know if that would be dominance because at the end when I said blah blah blah, she said something about masturbation and how she made herself squirt versus that doing that with a guy.
But he
Has a
asked you
guy?
if the guy
Hold
did
on,
it. Oh,
hold on, just hold on, because she said this is key. So, has a guy ever made you come in a way you've never came before?
are you asking that?
I'm asking the panel.
I
That
didn't
was
know
a
this was
question.
gonna turn. I didn't know this was
Yeah.
gonna turn into an interview. Uh,
This
I
is
think
anecdotal than a
I think
motherfucker.
that's I think that is
No, I ain't trying to deal with anecdotal because
I think
these are. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't think that you have the same experience with everybody, so I do think your orgasms are different with anybody that you're with.
Okay, so but do you feel
Wait,
in that
wait, wait,
moment?
wait,
Go
wait.
ahead. My bad. My bad. Go ahead. Go answer the question.
No, I just want to know how is that? Like, how is it different with everybody? I mean, you might achieve it in a different way, but ain't it
I
the
think
same
maybe
thing?
he's talking about intensity. Maybe
Oh, okay.
that's how I
Well, go
took it.
ahead, Sean.
Okay, now you can answer.
I thought it was a general question, but I'm gonna take it as a general question, and I'm gonna say no. I
Okay.
experienced what an orgasm was within myself.
You walked
Okay.
into Sean. This was about Diddy and
I,
Right.
I
Cassie.
understand it's about Diddy.
And then we went. Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
I'm explaining to the chat people who just came. We were talking
You
about
giving us a
Diddy and
recap.
Yeah, we were talking about
Yeah,
Diddy
we
and
were
Cassie.
talking about Diddy and
And
Cassie
then we
BDSM.
started talking about how they put BDSM, which is Diddy's lifestyle, on trial in the Diddy case, not necessarily like that much of the
Stan is
wrongdoing, just that.
losing his mind.
So then we went on to um BDSM and what that is and what are different kinks, and then we went to Dom and subs and what are Dom and subs and how so that's where we're at now, the Dom sub conversation.
Okay, now my question in all that regard, and back to my point of even asking that, but you didn't answer the question, Honey Clark.
Say your question again.
Has men or a man ever got you to do something that you've never done
Oh
before?
wait a
I
minute.
think that question is
Wait
kind of
a minute.
crazy though.
I
I
wasn't
want to
thinking
answer
about your
first. I want to
question.
answer first. I want to answer first.
You already said
Okay,
you
Um,
but
saw.
after we
You
answer
answered
this little
already.
anecdotal
But
stuff,
I
so
can we
you
did.
go
said
back
for
to the
me,
topic?
Yeah, you
yes.
answered
Okay,
already.
so
Everybody
but
else
you're
has answered,
saying
but all
has
right.
it done has
Sorry,
somebody
sorry.
done that before? Yes, they've done that before. You're saying, do I think that that makes them dominant?
I think that's what he's trying to say.
It depends on what it is that they've
But
done.
that's a different question now.
Okay, but hold
No,
on.
that's what he
Now,
asked at first. Like, do
yes,
you
what
think
I
that
asked,
that
but
was a
okay. So
dom
if
thing?
they got,
I never
if they
answered
were
that.
able to pull, if they were able to pull something out of you in that moment that you haven't
You
experienced with
irritate me
other
so
people.
bad. Do you know that?
Thank you. But if they pull that out of you, right? They pull that experience out of you that no other man has done that before, then
Mm.
there is some type of sexual control and dominance over you, which goes back to
That
my
doesn't
point.
mean that,
Hold on,
Pooh.
man.
I
Hold
don't think
on.
it
Let me
mean.
finish.
I would think
Let me
this. I
finish.
would
Like
think
so
that it would mean
broad.
it
It's
would
so
make it
broad. You
a
have to have
Okay,
dominance
you
Yeah,
if
said
that
it's
it
so
is
was
broad.
broad.
no.
Yeah, like it has to be a
Can I shorten the
specific
Barney?
kind of
It
thing that would make it dom versus you just having a new
I'm trying
experience.
to get back.
can
What I'm
he
trying to
do
do is
it,
I'm gonna
Sean
bring it
Paul?
back. These
Sean P, can
pleasures.
he do it consistently? Because it's
Yes.
one thing to do it once. It's one thing to do
Right.
it twice. Is it
Right.
consistently like that?
Yeah.
Then that's
Let's
dominant.
ask the panel.
I'm just trying to understand how this is relevant,
Now,
but
okay. So now you said that that's
That's a good
dominant.
question. That's a good question. Pan said like, would it work in reverse? Like,
right, that's what
does
I
that
want to
other
know.
Absolutely.
person?
You
So
Yes.
like,
all up
would
in
the
my
other person
Yes.
business.
also
Yeah.
do
I'm
something
saying
too?
yes. I agree. I
Okay.
say yes. Yes. It would work both ways. It dep- because
But
you
then
may
how
be a
can it be
different way for a
dominant? Are you
different
saying
partner.
that?
No. 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 Hold on. Well, hold on. I'm saying reverse, as in like a woman can bring something out of a man that no other woman can, and a man can bring something out of a woman that no other woman can. I'm not saying it's the exact partner or whatever the
But it
case may
doesn't
Oh,
be.
in
have
the
to
same
be.
case, it would be okay.
But it doesn't have
Right.
to be a dominant thing. It could just be that, we have better sexual chemistry. It could be that I feel more comfortable with you.
But
It's like
okay,
it's
in
different.
dom situations, certain things make them feel like they're certain sexual acts, right? Would make them feel
Right.
more dominant. Um,
That
commanding
comes back to the point.
that does, or
I
like
agree.
things like that.
So
I don't know.
that was my point in
I want
saying
to have
that,
this
because it comes
conversation.
back to the point of dominance.
Right. Okay. But I'm saying that all new things or all those new or different type things wouldn't be considered dominant. But like
You
some
care to
things
share
that
some
you
of your new experiences?
do, no. What I'm saying is that some things
Golly, I'm just
would
asking the question.
make. I'm saying that some things would make it dominant. A lot of times people feel like I don't want to use that one. And I'll kick him off. Jesus, I don't like him. So like
Okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead and say
so
it. Yeah, let's talk about it.
No, because you
I don't
completely
really like
derailed
him.
this
Mm,
But
whole
I'm saying
conversation.
like
mm.
commanding. So somebody can command somebody their body, right? If you can command, so you're in the middle of you know having sex and the man can tell you not to come or tell you to come, right? Or the woman can tell you not to come or tell you to come. That's something that a dom does, right? So it's certain sexual acts that would, you know what I'm saying? Somebody kiss somebody and they like, melt. That might be a love thing and not a dominant thing.
I don't agree with the love thing and not a dominant thing. I think
What
that's
you
a
wrote?
sensitivity thing.
Gypsy
But I'm
goes the look.
saying it might, I
Don't
said it
say
might
love.
be. It might be a love thing and not
That's not
dominant
love.
if
That's
you do that.
sensitivity.
But if you
That could be
no,
love too.
because you could anybody kiss you, anybody can kiss you and you'll be like, whatever. Somebody
Mm.
kiss you where you want to melt in their arms or you feel it all over your body. Yeah, it might be a love
But
love
sometimes
type
it could
shit.
be insensitivity um um
Kissing?
of that
Man,
Talk
intimacy,
about your
of that
mouth.
listen.
intimacy. Yes,
Kissing
it
is
could be
like
a lack of
intimate, bro. Like
intimacy.
no,
It
no.
can be because a lot of people don't kiss no
You gotta
more.
like that person though to feel
Yeah, you
anything.
definitely gotta like them to swap
Everybody feels
sentences.
that
I'm just
way, not
saying.
just, but everyone. On what I'm saying is everyone feels that way. So it's the decentralized of being intimate that way that can cause what one would think is love. It's not love. It's just they decentralized from that.
Well, it's lust too. Like, hello, you kiss me, I get aroused because the
You
way
said
you're
lust
kissing
or
me.
love, lust
Lust.
or love.
I said
Okay,
lust.
okay, I agree with that.
Like if you kissing somebody, like,
Man,
obviously, I don't want to talk to you.
if
I
if a
agree with
man
lust. I
bites
thought
you
I
in the
thought you
right
guys
spot
said
of your
love.
body,
I don't want to talk to
if he
you.
bites you at the right spot of your body,
Honey,
and
did you
your
say
body
lust
does
as
something
well?
that never's been done before, or
Yeah.
you don't get that from nobody
Yeah, I
else,
missed that part.
what is that to you?
What is that to me?
Yeah, what is it to you?
Um, that's our chemistry, honestly.
You're saying it's a chemistry, but
Yeah.
you've been touched or kissed or licked or sucked or tickled or teased in these same spots by other people, but this one particular does the same thing, but it just controls you. You're saying it's
Yeah,
just a
but
chemistry.
yeah, it's our chemistry. It's how much I'm attracted to this man, you know? Like there's a lot. It could be
Oh,
he
Kim got some
builded it
say.
up so much to the point that once he kissed me, I'm like, let's go. You feel me? Like some
I
people,
disagree with that. I just think I think you're desensitized from certain situations. You trying to
I
make
don't
it
think
so that
so.
you,
No,
I
he's
think
I,
saying that
so.
it's the same
yeah,
as
like
everybody else.
I was going to say, let me finish. He's making a standpoint of you always been kissed there. You always been by maybe multiple and random men, not simultaneously, but I'm saying that some in that situation that was painted before he said what he said, I don't think that person is used to that. They don't get that all the time because they are not everybody is everything they
But
just
he's
said.
saying
I
if
I'm
get
you
what
not
you're
kissing
do,
saying. I
everybody.
get
but
what
he's
you're
I'm
saying
not
saying.
if
doing all
he
like I think
does, if
people
you
share
do,
that
Keisha,
feeling.
if you do, if you get out all the time, if you have sex all the time, if you have this shit all the time, right? But yet this one person, when they do it, it's different than every time that you do it with anybody else.
But see,
It's
everybody
such a
don't do things the same
rarity.
way. Like, hold
Yeah,
on,
like
wait.
that's such a
Somebody
rarity though.
don't do things the same way.
And
Like,
that's the reason why the question was, would you consider that a dom thing?
You will have to experience that first.
So you've never experienced it. Okay. Well, then
Well
you would have to
the
say
said
that.
person, yeah, said
you've
person would
never,
have to experience that for that to be that way. Absolutely.
well, like, I can say, like, it could be too, like, maybe somebody is more dominant, and that might be what's the difference, or they might be more gentle. I mean, it just depends,
So
I
it kind
guess.
of depends on what. So then that goes back to what Keisha asked you that you never really got to answer, which is what is dominant to you? What does that
Yeah.
mean? because then that might if mm, I know
Yeah,
dominant. I know that like I said, certain acts um is a dominant thing, right? Like any kind of oral sex is dominant usually.
Yeah. So
Uh,
what is dominance to you, Sean?
but
Since
that
you
was
asked all
the
these
part.
questions.
That's one of the sub things too. I don't know where Sean is. He's been
he
quiet,
right.
but
He disappeared.
one of them is
He back.
But he
No. I'm
disappeared.
here. I'm just working. But you saying what is dominance to me?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It has
Is that
everything to do
dominance
with
to you
control.
that you can kiss someone the same way they've been kissed and all that stuff and it's different? Is
Yeah,
that dominance?
absolutely. Because I can get her to do things that nobody else can get her to do.
So can I say
And
something
but that
that
leads.
go ahead. I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
No. You go ahead. Go ahead.
That means that that person has to have experience for you to dominate.
well, the person has to submit.
That too.
Well, if the
You
I
person
because
agree.
doesn't,
it's
but
not
he,
I
you
agree. I
because it's
agree.
not yeah
The
because
submission.
for him to do something that nobody's ever done, they would have to open themselves up for him to do that. All right, is that what we're
but
saying?
they, but they also had to never experience that as well. So, in his caveat is you experience this 99, not 99, but multiple times. But when this happens, when a special person, a particular person does it, then it's different. So I'm saying the caveat is experience.
Correct. I agree with that too. But I'm sticking to my gum. It is but through that experience, right? Through, it means everything because she didn't know she had it drawn out of her, and she didn't know. And then once she began to like it, right, and no one else could do that or pull that out of her, it became a thing, and that thing led to other passionate things that were either experienced together, or in a private setting or in a group setting,
You're
and
talking
then
about
that will
Cassie
grow.
now?
Oh my goodness.
I'm asking
You
a
can say that.
question.
You can say that. You can say it could, actually it
Okay.
can just for any woman or in general as it pertains to this conversation. Yes, we can say Cassie,
Okay,
right?
thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. And then once that experience takes over, and then she no longer has that control, which she forfeited it because she, as to Honey Clark's point, submitted in this scenario, then everything is up in the air. She's willing to do any and everything.
Any and everything?
Almost,
No,
almost. Shoot, they some. They, hey, hold on. Stop. So hold on. People didn't know that she liked being peed on until it came out. There was
yeah,
somebody else. There was somebody else who got pooped on, and they didn't know that until it came out.
But she
right.
said she didn't like to be peed on.
But she said she ordered it.
But
She
then
So
asks. She
exactly.
asks for it.
I feel like the only reason why
I
she
know
said
she asked for it, but
that
I'm
she don't
saying what
like it
she
is
said
because
out
she's
her
trying
own
to play
mouth.
victim.
She said
So
she
I,
never
I
asked to
agree
be
with that.
peed on.
if you ask for it, then that's insinuated that that's what you wanted.
Is
Yeah.
there
Whether
any
you
kind of
liked it,
understanding that
but
you just did that
whether
because
you
that's what he
liked
wanted
it,
her to
but
do?
No,
babe,
because my
but
thing is
mm,
it was other stuff that he wanted done, right? And
yeah.
she didn't ask them to do it. He asked for both of them to do it. Right. So if he wanted it done, he would have said it. She wanted it done. That's why she asked for it to be done.
But she didn't.
All he
He didn't
wanted was
really
to
do a
come
lot of talking.
afterwards.
But he
She
didn't
did
do
to
a lot
the
of talking. She did
who
all the
did it?
talking.
No, they said that he used to be telling them all kinds of shit to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of that, like I don't think that he
But
would
in
have
the
peed on
terms
her
of
unless she would have agreed to it. The sex worker.
in the terms of her asking, is her wanting that. Now, the schematics of her liking it, that's an emotional response to what she asked for. We can't speak for her emotional response to what she asked
Right.
for.
What I'm saying, I don't know. I would say that if you don't understand a kink or nothing, then it's kind of difficult. But like, I can understand, like, to Sean's point, like if you have opened yourself up for somebody to be your dom, you usually put like your trust in them, like completely. So you
Yeah,
might
I
go
would agree
along
to
with
that.
stuff that they say and things like that because you feel like at the end of the day they're gonna protect you.
Yeah,
Right. At the end of the day, regardless of what you do with them, you trust them 100%. So they're gonna protect you in this whole ordeal. It's just that when they become the person you need protection from, it's kind of,
it's a tricky situation in the name
oh, it is.
of Run DMC. It's really tricky. It's really tricky.
I have a question for Sean. If he can answer it, he might have to type it in the chat. But my question was like, in what you know about the LS lifestyle, do you think that somebody who's in the position of a dom can get carried away?
Yes, because you, well, it depends on the person that that's submissive to them, because you might not think that it's extreme, but they might think that it's extreme in that moment.
Mm.
So that could be an issue.
Is this why safe words are invented?
Well, that part too, but
It's
total
hard to do
power.
safe words though when you're outside of the bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, but
Like
everybody
like
gotta
outside
have
of
a
the
safe word, right?
bedroom, you should have a safe word, right? But outside of the bedroom, where is there a time to use a safe word, right? Like when we're talking about how it could be psychological or sexual, right? That's what
Hmm.
we're saying. And how Diddy did play a lot of psychological games too, on top of his little freak offs. A lot of the stuff was mental. So it's like, can you have a safe word for a too far psychological dom?
But it speaks volumes to why he like brats versus women that are
Who like
down
Brett?
with Diddy. It speaks volumes to why he like brats versus submissives, like a full submissive that Miami was in allegedly. Um, Kelly Porter was. So is that her name? Yeah. So yeah, allegedly.
Kim.
So Kim, I'm sorry. Allegedly Kim was. So it speaks volumes to why he is so attracted to brats, because it gives the boundary that Lindsay was talking about, as far as taking things to, well, yeah, as far as taking things a little too far, because a brat will
I
always
think it's
give you a,
worse because a brat makes you like like
but a
like a
brat
regular sub,
will,
right? They're gonna
but a
just do
brat
what
will
you want them
leave,
to do.
but a brat will leave, and but that's what that just gives more, like that's what he likes. If he had a full sub, he wouldn't have no challenge. He likes
Right.
the challenge of a
But
brat.
what I'm saying is that okay, but when you talking about a brat, we just had them up here, right? Them other people who really don't listen. They have to be made to listen, which would help to make things go farther because you're resisting, you disobey, you do everything. You have to be made to do something.
Yes, but
So
if
what
he had a
about the
full
times
sub,
that you're not being a brat? Oh, we talked about this before
yeah.
with Brown and them. Because it's like, what about the times where you're not being a brat and you're just accused of being a brat, right? So now it's like you're playing too much. I don't want to I shouldn't be punished for this. I'm not doing anything wrong. I have an actual complaint. I'm not just being bratty. I'm not saying no because I'm being disobedient. I'm saying no because I don't fucking want to, or I don't think it's a good idea or whatever, right? But
Yeah.
if it's always in a role of the fact that you're always pushing and pulling and you're always not obeying and you get punished for that and you accept that punishment, then it's
Hmm.
like, so when it's, you know what I'm saying? When it's one of those times and when you're like really just doing too fucking much, like, bro, stop.
Because I'm still going to stand 10 toes and 10 fingers down, because
And
I
then
think they
especially
are
when it's not
really
sexual.
attracted to brats. but especially psychological. I think they are
Yeah, but I'm
attracted
saying
to
within the brat
brats, and I'm
thing,
not saying like
when
I,
do you say stop? When, because at some point it just looked like it's stupid. Like, I don't know how to say
yeah,
it. If it's psychological and you're
I'm
trying to
not,
use a
I
safe
can't
word,
defend, I'm not, I can't like give any logic to what that is for a sadist, because even I said like, yo, listen, nothing will ever fill your cup, nothing, because you will always, in my eyes, look for something to challenge you, and then with the mask of saying I don't want to challenge, so it comes off soft, dom ish, because
well,
like
no,
most
not.
doms
But a
will say.
brat tamer wants a brat, so they're not looking for you not to have no pushback. It's just not having pushback all the time. But still, it's just when it's not in the bedroom and it's not physical. How can you do that when he's embarrassing her by talking shit, by doing something? When do you say the safe word? When you are going too far with your degrading, right? When do you get the safe word? Right? Because I'm not physically hurting you. So what are you putting the word up for? Like, you understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's hard when it's a psychological thing because it's easy to push boundaries physically and put a safe word.
Oh, I see what you're saying. When he like to play his little mind games.
Yeah, like when you're playing a mind game where you're going too far with that, with the psychology of it, of your dom. How do you put a safe word in then? Because it's like, what am I doing? I'm not hurting you. I'm not physically touching you. I'm not, bending your arm back. I'm not putting too hot wax on you.
But he went
Did
too
y'all did
far
y'all
with
hear the
the
testimony that she was making him eggs or something and he like beat her or something? I don't remember what it was.
but in the spirit of her saying like, even when you are a brat and you're submissive and they still looking for the brat within you, I'ma still say that they looking for that challenge. Like they're still looking for a challenge. They looking for that pushback. They looking for that resistance. They looking for that
But
shit.
I'm
And when you
No,
saying
don't
but
give
he's
it
when
to
it's
looking
them,
for
too
the
much, you're
satisfaction
not
though.
looking. Yeah, you're not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when it's too much mentally and emotionally, not physically.
I get it. They don't have no
When your
pause. They
dom
don't have no
activity
stop.
is too far there, where is the stop button? Like, where is that
There
at?
isn't none. I'm saying, I'm trying to like say like there is no stop button for that person because they're always searching for that challenge. There is no stop button. There is no pause. I want
But
you
there's a
to
pause in
resist.
any. There's a pause in any dom.
Well, that nigga don't got no pause for that type of dom. Then that's,
Yeah, I
I
would
guess
think
that's
there's
when that, I guess that's when that becomes real um
abusive relationship.
no, the other word, psychopathic.
That's what I've been calling the man the whole time.
Yeah, like I'm like that places
But I
him
don't
in a
think he's
different behavior.
psychopathic. I just think
Um,
that there is when you don't have a way to stop it, how is it too much? Just like what Sean just said. To
but
me,
that's
it
for
might
the
not be too much,
victim.
but to
Y-
them, it might be too much. But it
Yeah,
wasn't before, but it is today.
but that's for the victim. I can't speak for the victim, but for as far as the predator, he becomes psychopathic. There is no too
But is
much.
that a predator? It's not a predator. If
What
it's
he
happened
became,
before, just like when you're looking at, like, I remember this one dude I know, right? And him and this girl would get into it, and I'm talking about they'd be fighting, like fighting, like they niggas in the street, okay? And finally she was like, "That's it." Like one time they fought, "That's it. I'm done with this." Da 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 da. Right. So he knocking on the door like, "Yeah, so where she at? So we can go home and shit." She said she done. And why she done? She ain't been done every other time we did the shit. We fighting and fucking make up all the time. Why this time when we fight it's an issue. It's like you don't register, right? That some shit could go too far. This time you was pulling her hair, you had her foot in her back, you almost broke her neck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a whole lot of
well,
other
that's
shit.
why I
But to
said
Right.
for the
you, y'all
person
just was
that is,
fighting.
well, maybe predator is like maybe the wrong word to use, but for the person that is side A that is doing this, it is a psychopathic behavior at that point. Now, for the person that's on side B, I don't know about
I
that
know
for them.
I also blamed her for leading him on. when you
Maybe.
when you sat there and was like, no, 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 no. Okay, yeah. Then we go kick it and we have fun and we have drugs and we have sex and we do all of this. And then I go home and then he tries to come back the next day and shit. And I'm like, oh, this is too much for me. I really don't want to talk to you. I shouldn't have did that last night. You're sending mixed signals.
Absolutely.
Like you're at fault here. And I don't give a damn about that. When she could have changed her mind, she could have whatever. And that's true. But she still sent him mixed signals.
Absolutely.
Regardless, you did all of that shit, and then you, when he come back around, you acting like, why are you here? What the fuck? We was just last night kicking it and shit. Like, what's going on? Why you tripping? Then when he confused and he blow the fuck up, he got the issue. But you playing with him.
Back to me saying that if he had a full submissive, the challenge wouldn't be a challenge. But I do think that he learned from all these like chasing a challenge to just like, yo, life with a full submissive is just more peaceful.
But he don't even have a full submissive. He never had one. Who was a full submissive?
Well, so my Young Miami ain't a full submissive.
No, she's a brat.
She's definitely a brat.
A Brett full
She's
submissive.
a bratty baby girl. That's what she is. Listen, I
More. All
love her.
right. So can we
She
say
remind,
she's more
hey, listen,
submissive
she
than
remind me
Cassie?
of me. She remind me of me. Ooh, baby, I love her. Cause she be about her business. Well, when he there, and she, what's up, daddy? I need da 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 da.
But then
Okay,
you
we be
also
like,
said she
cool.
said they go together real bad.
I go
Remember
together.
that?
We go together real bad. Yeah, I don't care what you talking about, nigga. That's what she said. I don't give a fuck about that bitch, the baby that's on the way, none of that shit.
Girl, I'm just going to
That was the
still
brat.
say
That was her being a brat. I don't care what you say. Yes, we do. And he was just like, oh, for real? Okay, well, whatever, boo. I hope your little show goes well.
I don't like Brett, so there's that. I got a bias. I'm gonna just
I
be
was his
quiet and go on mute.
baby.
You
His
what? You don't
baby.
like brats?
I I don't.
Girl, she thinks she a dime.
What?
I'm not a Brett.
Look, I said, girl, she thinks she a dime.
What you mean? I think I'm a dime.
You think you a dime? You don't be. You think you a dime? You got that sub
I'm
in you
not.
too. You a switch.
I don't be switching though.
Wait,
I'm a
so do
switch
you
that don't
really
be
think you're a
switching
dom?
though.
She be thinking that she's not subby. Like we ain't seen her around dudes. She like, bruh.
I submit. I seen you submit a bunch of times.
Absolutely. It's okay.
Mm,
It's okay, Keisha. Come on home.
mm-mm, I don't want no
So why do you think you're a dom?
because of my real life.
Cause she is a dom. She is a dom. She's just, but naturally she's not.
Oh, you gotta put on.
No, I'm saying
I
she is a dom though, but naturally around niggas that she like, she don't be trying to dom them. But this what I be
Oh.
trying to understand. So do you see subs, since you're a female dom, do you see
mm,
them as like subs that are men, right? Does it take away any of their masculinity to you?
no. It depends on what type of sub that I got. If I got a body worshiping sub, not so much. Because a body worshiping sub to me comes off like they talk about themselves a lot and they love bomb crazy. So I think a lot of women get caught up in the
Oh yeah, that
dominance
would
of their
annoy the fuck
confidence.
out of me.
In their confidence, but they super love bombing the shit out you on top of that. So that just like, okay, I like that, but nigga, I asked you to wash my dishes like an hour
You want to
ago.
know what's crazy? I think
So
men that I have dated are subs, but men that I like are not.
it's like I could be submissive when it comes down to you giving me what I want, but soon as I don't get that shit, I'm not bratty about it. Like the dominance come out of me. I'm not gonna bitch about it. I'm
What
gonna
you
just
mean
be.
you're not ready about it?
I'm
I
not bratty
mean,
about it. I'm
a
not
brat
gonna.
is bratty about
I'm not
what?
resisting. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, and it's fuck you, nigga.
What you mean resisting though? If they're the
Since you're
sub,
fuck that, fuck you is up and stuck
well, that's not
from there.
that's not dumb. That's just being
It's
a
not
upset woman.
bratty either. I'm not saying it's
That's
dumb.
not
I'm just saying
bratty.
it's
Did you hear
not
what you just
bratty.
said? You just said, "Fuck this, fuck that. I don't care. You don't want to
Fuck
do it. I'm gonna.
you.
I'm gonna do
Fuck
something
it.
else." Sounded
But
real bratty
it's
to
not.
me.
It's my mindset. Like I think brats are outward, and I'm not
You're a
outward
dommy
like that.
brat.
She's a bratty. She's a brat tamer. Brat tamers be brats too, bro.
Oop,
Ooh, I
oop.
take that.
That
They
makes
do.
a lot of sense.
Brat
Because there's a
tamers be
I
lot
take
of
brats too
that.
men that
because
say
they
they're
have
brat
to.
tamers and they're really brats themselves. Oh my God.
Well, you have to. You kind of because you gotta have the same kind of mentality. It's always gonna be a give or take. It's always gonna be a I don't know how to say it. It's like it's a give or take. It's gonna be a incentive to do things, right? You have to hold out on stuff. You have to be like, no, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving in. I'm not doing this. You have to do that. All of that is still brat behavior, just opposite. And then
Yeah.
that person submits to you, so they end up giving in to your brat while you don't always give in to theirs.
But
You
I
have to
feed off that
sometimes, but
shit.
not always.
So I don't know if a brat feeds off someone submitting to them, but that shit gives me life. It's like it's like the what's that demon called? The succubus in me. I like that shit. Give me all that energy. I don't like that. Do what I say. This, that, and the third. Da 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 da. I mean, all that is good when we in public, but when closed
But you
doors,
gotta understand that brats are
I
not
don't like
brats
that.
about what they want. Brats are brats about what they're told to do.
I'm not
That's
Mmm.
two
brats
different
about what I'm
things.
told to
Like you keep
do.
talking about what because you're in a situation where you're being a dom, right? But I'm
Yeah.
saying a brat is not telling somebody nothing. Like what you can ask, you can request,
Oh,
but you
okay.
ain't gonna tell nobody shit because you're a sub, right? So
Okay.
I can say like this is what I want. I can do this, but and I could want my way, but like no is no. Right? You're gonna whine about it, probably yes, but you tell me to do something is when you're probably gonna get the brat part.
But mine is more like consequential. That's why I kind of like lean towards dominancy because if it's not
Hey,
like a
pencil.
I want consequence. I want retribution. Like I want
You want to give
revenge. I
out
want
consequences.
yeah, I want to give out
I'm
consequences
not.
because you ain't do what the fuck
Listen,
what I
I'm
told
not
you to
that.
do. Like,
I ain't that creative. Like you got to be
mm,
able to get on somebody's nerves and think like Diddy, right? You got to think like the most diabolical way to get to somebody without killing them. Like like
yeah,
like you know what I'm
that's
saying?
that's
Like
that's more that's
to
that's my
go
cult.
around and it's like you got to think hard and long to be a dom that's giving out consequences, especially if it's psychological and physical.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why I lean more towards dominancy because I like giving out consequences for the things that one didn't obey me.
What's
But
up,
at the same time,
Bantu?
the
But I
switch in
think
me likes to like if I give out
JJ.
something, I like to give. So there's that. I don't know if that's the part of dominancy as well.
well, yeah, because it's just like I don't know. I understand what you're saying, and I just truly think that when men do that, they are subby, and I don't like that. And I be thinking that they're super feminine, and I don't like that. So, so
So
it's
I
like
got a
a bias I
question.
have. It's the bias I have, and it might just be because I'm a sub. Like I don't that when you start to be subby to me, like I don't like you. I think
So
you're a
how
bad.
are you? How are you with women though?
So I don't like subby women either.
Wait, what? Oh,
Yo,
wait, y'all talking
I
about something
know this
totally
shit was
different.
about to get real crazy. Like I
I
don't like
don't
when
because
niggas say that.
it's
Do you like brats as a woman?
no,
Oh,
I don't. If I tell you to do something, just do it. I do feel like you should be able to think for yourself though, and that would be my issue. I don't want to tell you everything to do every fucking time. Like, are you slow? Like, you feel what I'm saying? But I don't like for me to have to keep trying to argue with you to do a fucking thing. right? So I'm probably way more dominant with women
Yeah, I was about to
than
say
men.
that.
But me and a nigga and another bitch, you probably be for sure that I'm her dom. He might be ours, but I'm hers for sure. But because I can't, I don't know how to do anything else.
That's a damn shame
But
for a
a
sub to be a
man,
sub, but don't
but
not.
my uh but like I said, dudes I date, that's one of the things that I don't like that clingy shit for a reason, because I think that that's like subby and I think it's not masculine. I don't like for somebody to feel like you're like their life, like, oh my god, like what can I do without you? That kind of dependency to me is subby and feminine. I don't like that either. So so like the shit that Diddy does where he's being the dom, okay, but as soon as they leave, he literally turns into a sub. That's
Oh
annoying.
yeah, with that whole gotta get, what is it? Gotta get over you, or what was it? Gotta move on.
Yeah, he starts to like go by what they want him to do, their time periods, their whatever's, like he starts to be a sub. That if I would have never went back to him, because it's like, nigga, like, are you a dom or not? Because now you being a
I
little
said
bitch.
that. I said that in the beginning. In the beginning, I think we all agreed that in the beginning of this conversation that that switch would have drove everybody crazy.
I
I
don't
Like
know.
think it's just
that
psychological
switch would have been
games,
like,
but
nigga,
that's
what
me.
the fuck? Is pick a side,
It is
nigga.
a
Pick a side.
psychological game because he's making them feel like that they have control now. And
Hmm.
then when they come back through, you don't no longer have it. Like, no,
You
you
don't know.
forgot who really
Yeah.
was in charge. But my thing is that you switching like that to be that way to me would make me not like you. When you switch
I
to
understand
like
that.
groveling to me, I no longer find you attractive, because what I found attractive in you
It's
was the
gone.
power, was the stand up,
Yeah.
was the fact that you could resist me, was the fact that you were able to command me, but the fact that you continued to pay attention to me.
Hence that love bombing shit. It
Yeah,
throws you
but I don't
off.
like that. I hate
Yeah,
that.
like it throws you off when you thinking you're encountering a dominant man or
Somebody get to
not
telling me that they
masculine, but
love me, I'm leaving. I'm going to be
It's
like, yo,
called
you have a good day.
narcissism. Again. Um,
it's the I love you, and we not
I
even
keep
at that
trying to
stage
like
yet. Like
It
interject
is
nigga,
some.
like
narcissism, but
yeah,
I like narcissistic people sometimes.
me
And
as
you have to
well.
sometimes be a narcissist
To
to
like a
be a dom.
narcissist. Like
Okay, let me reiterate. Wait, y'all know what the heck I'm
Reiterate.
trying to say. I'm not
reiterate.
saying that people don't have narcissistic tendencies. I understand that. Okay, what I am saying is that mentally he has narcissism personality disorder. So that's a different ballgame. The love bombing, the triangling of women, all that stuff. You said it was psychological games, and that was a part of his BDSM sadist crap.
His kink, Leah is kink, but
I
I
don't
think
I
yeah,
don't necessarily agree 100% because the narcissism and the all that other stuff just kind of takes over, in
But
my
given
opinion.
hold on, given what we've learned about sadists today, you don't think that narcissists are sadists?
Yeah,
Like
right.
I can agree
literally
that
all
with
of them.
that. I can
And
agree
can
with
you
that.
agree that multiple people outside of BDSM may fit that description?
Say that again.
Can you agree that multiple people outside of BDSM may fit that description?
Most definitely. Like I agree with y'all in terms of like knowing your kinks, knowing what you like, that whole thing. Like I agree with people
Why I keep
agreeing
going
in,
over that's pissing me off?
huh?
Nothing. I was trying to blow this up and it's like really making me mad though. It
Yeah,
keep
she
doing
really
Yeah,
dumbass
can.
I can
shit.
agree. I can agree with all those things, but it still doesn't take away from the fact like, you know,
No.
he's narcissistic and he's a psychopath in my opinion.
Oh.
I think being narcissistic and being a psychopath is totally two different fucking different things, and is a
Yeah, that's why
level
she said he's
of
both of them.
Yeah, it is a level of extremism when you become a psychopath and BDSM because that's dangerous as
So you
fuck.
don't
That's
think
one of
that
the
setting someone's car on fire is a problem, like a psychopathic thing
babe.
to
I'm
do?
saying that he is a psychopath and he's not
Oh,
like
okay.
normal.
Okay, first
What
of
would
all,
be a normal
in
BDSM
the
and
in
a
the
sadist and all that good shit because Honey proposed. Where is the boundary? And I'm like, yeah, that nigga is a sadist. I mean, that nigga is a psychopath. He don't have none.
hold on, a
But yeah.
psychopath is. Can we see this? It's not on the screen.
They say a
No, I
One
can't
sadist.
see
They
it.
don't say so.
second.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Okay, a psychopath is a personality disorder characterized by a lack of empathy, remorse, and guilt, often accompanied by manipulative and antisocial behavior.
Okay.
That can be charming and manipulative, making them difficult to identify, and their behavior can range from criminal to superficially adapted to society.
He's a psychopath, bro. He is beyond. He's graduated beyond a sadist and
Do you
landed
think that
on
him being a
psychopath.
psychopath has anything to do with the fact that he's just very rich and powerful?
No.
No, I think that started from when he was a child.
Really?
No, no.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I take that back. I take that back. I take that back. Yes, absolutely. I think he was a sadist when he was a child and all that other good. I mean, not a child. When he became an adult to understand his own sexualisms and his own sexual desires, and then he became a psychopath when he got money.
What the fuck? Hey, y'all, look. I'm sorry. Do y'all see what's on the screen? There
Wait,
is
I'm
something
confused.
called sexual sadism disorder.
I was reading that when we was reading the
Where you
Sadie's
all
thing.
see that at?
But it's on the screen.
A person who derives pleasure, especially sexual gratification, from inflicting pain or humiliation on others.
They
Yeah, that's
call
what we
that a
seen.
disorder. That's a kink.
On the side, sexual sadist disorder is on the side.
Damn,
There
it
goes
dropped
Sunday in
off.
the comments talking about Lord, don't get me started. Yes, boo,
They
we know
named that
I'm
shit a
over here
condition.
riding for you the narcissist conversation. I got you, girl.
They made it a condition, bro. Is we kidding? Sexual
Yes.
sadism disorder is a condition of experiencing sexual arousal in response to the pain, suffering, or humiliation of other people. Several other terms are used to describe this condition, and it may overlap with other conditions that involve inflicting pain. What? It is distinct from situations in which consenting individuals use mild or simulated pain or humiliation for sexual excitement. The words sadism and sadist are derived from the French. Da, 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 da. So this is about people who basically what want to rape somebody.
All right. Listen,
Yeah,
listen.
they're saying that
Can
it's
I say?
from non. It's from non-consenting people.
Okay.
Those type of
That
people
was
have
my
a
whole
disorder.
thing. Sorry,
So
is
they
my
do not
background loud?
acknowledge BDSM in this.
No, no, no. They're saying that this is different from when it is
Oh,
wanted.
okay. The condition is it's a condition when it's not consensual.
Right. When
Okay,
you like to do it with non-consenting people.
that's not
And I
Diddy.
don't think that everybody that he had relations with was consensual either.
I think they were.
I don't.
I think if they
I
wasn't,
don't because, and I mean, I don't know, but I know earlier in the reports when they confiscated his baby oil, they said there was something in it. A lot of people said that they would drink something and they would feel
yeah, I was
woozy
about to
or
say that outside of them getting drugged or the victims that
yeah,
got drugged.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah,
think
I
that
don't.
everything was
Yeah.
consensual. Like I know one of the jurors went on a news channel and said like, they saw the freak off videos. It looked like everybody was, having a good time, but of course it's going to look that way cuz everybody's on drugs.
Oh my
So
God, panel. Do he got a disorder and
I've
not
been saying
just?
that the whole time.
But
Yeah,
we
she
just
was
learned
saying
some.
that it might be actually a disorder. But to me, because he's a sadist,
That's
I don't
why I
know.
was
I
asking
felt
you
Like
like a
guys
lot of that
about.
sadist
stuff.
is a disorder as well. It's one thing for be a sadist, which
But
I
that's the
affirm
Yeah,
whole
that.
so
reason. That's the whole reason why I was going through the whole consent thing, remember? And the boundaries things, because I don't want people to think that we're saying that, oh, this is just a kink and this is like, there's clearly something else
yeah, if
underlying.
somebody is not agreeing to this and you're just trying to put it on them, like that's kind of like that's rape and that's a power struggle. And then it's like a like you like the fact that they're not consenting. That
Yeah,
puts you
Yeah.
into a sexual sadist disorder where
I
you
think
like the
that
Yeah.
is
fact that they
exactly.
don't want to do this, but you're making them. Then sexual sadism disorder would basically be a rapist. That is that. They're just
That's
giving
what I'm
them a
saying. Like,
disorder now.
I
Oh,
just think.
ladies, we just came up with some good political fucking material because there's a
But
lot of people that's like
I
that.
do think that that really does, like, because he has the power dynamics too, not just being a dom or being, that he has money, he has fame, he has influence. He had politicians and cops. He had people on payroll. So it's
And it's
like,
ways to cover that up because it's like
right,
you do this and it's like, oh, you're gonna throw some money at them, you're gonna do this, that, and the other. You'll get them to
right.
kill.
So
You do all this other
then
shit.
it's
But
like
that
So
go so
With Cassie, I do think that she definitely isn't 100% innocent, but I also think that
I don't think it has
he,
to do with her, but I think other people he may have.
I
yeah,
don't
like
Because
think
I
other
that
know they
people
he,
said
outside
that
of her,
he
yeah.
supposedly made one of them people, Jason Derulo or something, do
Hmm.
give him fellatio, and it wasn't because he liked him or the fact that he was gay. It was just because he had the power to do so,
yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm
and
just
that's what
saying,
he
like,
said. Because I can make him do it. That's
he
fine.
did that to several people. That's the whole reason why he
Hmm.
recorded people without them knowing. So that's
Yeah,
another
and,
thing.
he
All of these things that was going on, he wasn't saying, "Yeah, by the way, do you consent to me recording this?" No, he used those tapes as blackmail. Like, well,
mm-mm.
if you don't do this, then I'm gonna expose you, and now you're gonna have, you know what I'm saying? He did that to his own staff. He did that to his assistant. His assistant was like high on something. I can't remember what he said it was. And he recorded him being high. And then he told him, he was like, well, you were high. And if you get out of line, like, I'll put this out. Like, I think it's deeper than what you guys are talking about, which I think that at the base of it, yeah, he's a sadist. Yeah. But he really gets off on like the power struggle of like non consenting people
But then
too.
you also have a lot of people who mask that too with LS though,
Yeah, I was about to
because
say
what was
that. Well, we
on.
just learned a new thing today, and that's the fact that we learned that sadist could be a disorder. Shit,
But what they
who would have
did,
knew
but they
that?
didn't put on like what we're saying that like for one, we can't even say that he has that because none of that was brought out in trial.
Well, right, right, right. I never said that. I just said a
No,
sadist
I'm
could
just saying like
be.
we can't even do that because it's like everything in trial was like it was
But what about
consensual.
the Jane Doe girl? Because that's not Cassie. Like,
Yeah, but
okay,
the Jane
so
Doe girl wasn't saying she was raped either.
That part, it
no,
was.
no, there was a girl that was his assistant who
That's
said
not
that
this
she.
case though. Like this case, he was charged with a RICO for prostitution.
No, I understand. I
Oh,
understand. I understand that. I'm just trying to point out the disorder part where it could come in at, because she said that like he basically didn't let her lock her door and then came in her room and basically raped her.
I mean,
And
basically, or he did like.
no, he raped her.
Oh, because I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah, because that's
Okay, sorry, my words, my semantics. I'm sorry. I forgot who I'm talking to.
I
He
just
raped her,
wanted to know.
or graped her, I should say, graped.
Right,
He
yeah,
great.
graped
great.
her, and he did that multiple times.
And there's other
How did
women
he get to do
that
that
was on a
multiple times?
TMC.
Well, I mean, because of the power dynamics, I'm and here's the thing. I
Have a good
can't.
day. I'm leaving. What are you talking about?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm
I
also
think.
kind of understanding being afraid that something is going to happen to you if you leave. I'm just
I
saying, I'm
mean,
not
something
saying
was
that
happening to
the,
her staying
Oh.
though.
Yeah, like
well,
what's gonna
eventually
happen if
she
you
left.
stay? It's like
Eventually
running
she
back
left.
in a fire build, like a building is on fire. and thinking that you're safer than in the fire
I
than outside.
honestly,
Like,
I honestly don't think that, like, okay, so like I think too maybe she was in denial about what happened to her
hmm?
because
The
she liked
syndrome,
him and she wanted to
Stockholm
like,
syndrome.
yeah, like I
That ain't
just
even
think that
Stockholm syndrome. He wasn't trying to keep that bitch. She was
this was a
working there.
personal,
Like,
hold on, y'all. We have to be, we have to handle these things with
I
care.
wasn't going to
damn.
keep that
This
bitch.
person was an assistant. She wasn't like a girlfriend. She wasn't,
Right. So have a good
in the
day.
freak
The
offs.
fuck is this?
This is different. I'm just trying to give some kind of
Because to me,
understanding.
it don't sound like you're getting raped.
Mm.
You coming in and full on. Now I can see if she was like he came in and he touched me or something, or he came a little close, and I don't really know that time. But
Hey,
then
I'm
the
gonna
next time he
refresh.
raped me, I can see that. What happened? But
This
to
is her
say multiple
testimony. So like
times it
I don't know
happened,
the whole story. I
why are you
don't have
still
the
there?
transcripts of the trial. So I can't reread them to you. But he forced himself on her multiple times during the time that she worked for him. And the like I said, power dynamics, maybe she didn't want to lose her job. I'm not saying she shouldn't have left. I'm not saying all that. But I also think that he got off on the fact that he could get away with it.
Nah, he couldn't get off on the fact that he could get away with it.
Why can't
No,
he?
because the mere fact that he already knew that people was up on him before the whole scenario with Cassie.
I'm talking
Like,
about the assistant though. I'm talking about this
oh,
particular assistant who claims that he graped her several times while she worked for him, and she was, afraid I can understand being afraid of someone, being in a dynamic where you're scared to say anything, you're scared to leave. I'm sure the things they saw on the
how when you got multiple, if you're an assistant, right? Hold on, I'm just, I want you to stay right there, but I'm not trying to just like really interrupt you like that. But if you're an assistant, think about all the other assistants he had, and it was even an assistant, a male assistant, who left,
yeah,
who
but
was
he didn't
there.
leave right away.
Right, but I'm saying though, so if he's groping or if he's touching you and things of this nature, what led him to even want to grope you? He's just not gonna come out and just do it just because he just got a powerful name.
If you are the person that we're talking about,
Disagree. He just might.
he definitely is going to do that because
Hmm.
everybody that, so one of his assistants said this is his world and we're all just there to exist, we're just existing in his world. this is a whole this is a whole empire he dedicated. Like, I understand empires, most people dedicate them to themselves, but this involved abuse, not paying people their rightful wages, overworking people. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole different level of uh I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say,
He's
but what
going
I'm
to do what you allow him to do. Period.
huh.
He
Yeah,
gonna do
like
what you allow him to do.
there's no room, and I can kind of understand feeling like, especially if you are a gullible person, how
Sorry.
someone can
Why you
make you
gonna
feel
go?
like you have to do this, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, or
but
you
you don't
have to
have to come
stay.
back to work.
Huh.
That's the part that I'm not understanding. How can
I can't
somebody
say
do
like
something
everybody's
to
reaction
you
to that
that
kind of
you don't
abuse is
like
like,
multiple times? Like, that's farther than abuse. Like, you rape?
You go home.
this was her testimony,
While I'm
so
coming
I
back,
respect it.
I'm
That's
going
what I'm
home. I
saying.
don't
You
live with
went
you.
home. I'm not
Well,
coming back to be your assistant.
most of his assistants did like live um with him or whatever,
And I
because
would be leaving because
remember they're not
Right,
traveling
you're on the airport. You're on
everywhere.
airplanes. You're taking planes from one place to another. There's so many outlets to allow you an avenue of out.
But mate,
A
what if
lot of
you're like in a state of shock and you're in disbelief and you just
okay, you're in
how
the
you're
state of
are
first
you
shock.
a grown ass
I'm
person?
just giving out
Sean, wait a
scenarios,
minute.
bro.
What I'm saying though is that it happened multiple times, not the same day.
Right. So what you do, like, so okay,
Oh,
so he does the graping, right? And then the next thing you know, he's praising you. Oh, you doing such a great job. I love everything you do. Blah blah blah. Yeah yeah yeah. And you're liking the praise he's giving you, right? And then maybe 4 or 5 months go by, and you're like, oh, you're gaslighting yourself. Maybe that really, I don't know, whatever. And I'm just
I'm
saying
calling
that
bullshit.
people really do this stuff. It's not
No,
logical
no, no. I'm
because
calling
it's
bullshit.
psychological.
No, no,
You
I'm
can't
calling
say
bullshit.
like, oh
So
well, you
here,
stayed like I like a
no,
woman
no,
that's
no, no.
being
You
beat
you
up.
are at
Like you
fault for
can't.
staying. No, we can't dismiss the fact that everybody can fucking leave, no matter what we say. And then people want to sit here and say, well, you don't know what it's like to be in an abusive relationship, yada 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 yada, all this bullshit. That is bullshit. Your ass can go. You got avenues to go. What I am saying is each state in the United States have this thing where you can file complaints against your employer,
To
right?
someone that has
It's
police
called
officers and detectives on their
it,
payroll.
no, yes. He ain't got no goddamn officers on the paper.
Yes,
All
he
the motherfuckers.
does. What are you
Okay,
talking about?
let me finish.
This man
Let
is
me
worth
finish.
a
No, no, no.
billion
Hold on.
dollars.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Because this is bigger than the officer on the payroll. It's called the EEOC. Every state has one. Every state can take the claim. He ain't paying nobody at the EEOC because the EEOC don't give a fuck about no police officer, no big wig, none of that. They don't care about none of that. They take your claim, if it's an harassment claim, and they ride that shit out. So I'm going to give you an example of.
I know
I
what the
understand that you don't want to
EEOC
hear.
is,
Oh,
Sean.
I understand that you know what it is, but I want to give you an example. I've watched it work. A female claimed harassment at Comcast against one of the employers that ultimately ended up getting fired because there was multiple complaints. The female that did it had all the evidence and all of this. They were protecting this gentleman up into a certain degree. Then all of a sudden, the information broke from the EEOC. He was gone quick as day. This lady won over $2 million. Well, they settled for $2 million. So they got $2 million out of Comcast and still kept their job. And still kept it, even though they left the job for 2 months. Still came back with their job, their position, and 2 million to the good and everything they got going on. I know the individual. So what I'm saying is Puffy ain't bigger than no goddamn EEOC.
I have to wonder sometimes when we try to throw logic at people who have been abused, why we
Oh,
don't why we don't always consider the fact that maybe in that instance she's not thinking, let me go to the EEOC. Maybe she's thinking, I see this man with guns, I see this man with people on his payroll, he has a lot of power, I'm afraid for my life, I'm just trying to make it through the day. That's
when
all I'm
when when are
saying.
you afraid of your when are you afraid for your life? Is it when you're in Miami, or is it when you're in New York, or is it when you're in
Period. And
LA, or
if
when
you
you're
see how
overseas?
somebody
right.
rolls, if you see the way somebody
You
handles their
I think you missed
business,
my point.
you see you're not getting what I'm trying to say, Sean, because you're trying to throw logic at something that's not logical.
No, but it is logical because you're talking about your life. When you're talking about
Let
your
me read.
life,
Let
my
me read
life
what
is
she
at
said.
my
Let me
life.
read.
Come on now.
Let me read what she
To me,
said
she sounds
because
like somebody that feel bad about what she did.
I don't feel bad about what she did.
She
I
does.
can understand her position.
I can't.
I'm not
Have
going
you
to
been in
sit
it?
here and say, why
Have you
didn't
been
you just
abused?
leave when something happened to her and she's not processing it correctly
If
because
a
she
man
got
cheat on your
abused.
ass, you leaving
But
the
Sean,
man
okay, so
with no
hold on,
No,
thought.
Sean.
that's not
But
always
Sean,
the
we not
case.
talking about. So we're talking about his assistant, right? Cool. We got that. This is his assistant. You just said that in her claim, she claimed that he raped her multiple
Let
times.
me read her claim.
When, okay, because I'm
I
about to
have
say,
her claim.
when did this claim come out?
She testified in the Diddy trial. This was a part of the trial.
So it
A
didn't come out
woman
until the Diddy trial.
No, this was
Right.
actually in the trial.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't. The her being raped didn't come out until the trial. Is what I'm
What
asking.
does that have to do with anything?
No, no, no,
No,
no. I'm
no, he's
asking.
just asking. Yes, it didn't
Oh,
come
okay.
out until the
Yes,
trial.
yes, yes. She's going under a name. This is not her real name. She didn't want to be named. It says a woman who once worked as his assistant claimed in her trial testimony that the music mogul raped her multiple times. The ex employee testifying anonymously under the pseudonym Mia took the witness stand May 29th. She tearfully alleged that Diddy raped her at his Los Angeles home in 2009 or 2010. Mia claims that she was sleeping in a separate room with the door unlocked per an alleged house rule when she woke up to find the rapper on top of her. I just froze. I didn't react, Mia said, alleging Diddy forced himself on her. It was very quick, but it felt like forever. And then she said, Mia further accused Diddy of rape in another instance at his home, claiming he assaulted her while she was packing a suitcase in his closet. I felt like trash, she said. I felt scared and ashamed, like an idiot. Mia also claimed Diddy sexually abused her at a Plaza
That's a lot
Hotel
of
during his
claims.
40th birthday party, saying the musician asked her to do a round of vodka shots together. I was like, this is hers, what she said. I was like standing against the wall, and I just remembered he was talking, and all of a sudden his face got closer. Mia alleged. I didn't really know what was happening. According to Mia, Diddy leaned in to kiss her while also allegedly putting his hand up the side of her dress.
And you believe her?
Trying to kind of skip. Hold on. Mia included. She set up the freak off stuff. She did. She was a part of that,
She set up
setting
freak
things up.
offs.
She set them up.
Yes.
Pause.
Um,
Pause.
he
Pause.
reportedly tossed the bowl.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. So he was abusive. He was abusive.
okay,
He
so
was
I'm gonna one more
abusive. She
time.
was complicit.
Yeah, exactly,
I'm never
exactly.
gonna say that she's complete. If she's
No,
not
hell
saying
the
she
hell.
wanted to have sex with him, I'm never
She
gonna say that.
set up the freak offs.
But
She
these,
knew every.
but the times that he raped her was not during a freak off.
How was it rape? If listen to me,
She
I
said
understand
that he
abuse. I
forced
understand abuse.
himself on
I
her.
understand abuse. Remember, I studied the slave trade.
Are
I
you sure?
understand abuse.
Are you
I
sure?
understand abuse, and
Doesn't
I
sound
know it's
like you do.
no. You have a problem. Here's where the problem is.
I don't have a
The
problem at all.
lady participated in setting up the freak offs
What does
because
that
she
have to
did
do with
not get what
anything?
she wanted. It became rape. It became forcibly.
What?
It became all. Listen
She
to me,
never was in the freak offs. What are you
Lindsay.
talking
Lindsay.
about?
She set them up.
No, she wasn't.
Did she set up the
She
freak
was an
offs?
assistant. That was
She
her
set it
job.
up. That's what she did.
That
She
was
set him
her
up.
job.
One more time. She set up the freak
all of
offs. Yes
his
or no?
assistants, all of his
Yes,
assistants
she set up
had
the
to
freak
set
offs.
up freak
Okay.
offs. They
So
all had to clean up freak offs.
now, let me finish saying what I'm saying to you, just so you can understand fully. If a man takes advantage of you, you are going to scream. If you wake up with a man on top of you, you're naturally going to get defensive.
I
I'm
Motherfucker,
gonna
what the
disagree.
respectfully
Hold on. I
stop here
disagree.
because
I
that
disagree
is
with
not true.
the. Okay. Hold on. I
That is
disagree
not
with
true.
the whole you will scream, you will do all of that because actually you don't know what you would do in a situation until you're in it. Sometimes when it's a situation like that where there's a power dynamic, you don't scream. You don't really want to alert people. You are kind of embarrassed and you do feel like, what do I do in this situation, right? So
you are woke
what
up
I'm
out
saying
your
is
sleep and
in
somebody's
that
on top of you.
yes, and
You mean to tell
no,
you
you would
had
not
sleep?
always scream. You would not always scream. You would not
No,
always
I'm
do
saying
that.
you're
Sometimes
half
your
sleep.
fears.
You're
Yes,
naturally going to be defensive.
yes, but he likes defensives, right? So it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is this: all of that,
Y'all giving this
that
nigga way too
that
much
first,
power.
hold on, that first instance, right? I can give you not being so reactive in that because it's a shock. So you might freeze when when you're in shock. You might do something else, right? But
Okay.
the fact that you're continuing to do this, you're continuing to be there, you're continuing to deal with this, you're continuing to do that. It just shows that y'all had some kind of side relationship to me, and that's what it sounded like.
I don't think so.
A side
Of
relationship.
course you don't.
When you're sitting there and it's a party, the way that she's trying to describe it, because she sounds like she's romanticizing it as well, right? So even in her romanticizing of what's happening, if you're saying that you are at this party with your boss who forcibly tried to do whatever to you, and his drunk ass come over and he's just hugging you, he talking to you, he rubbing on you, for one, he thinks it's okay, and two, you don't even feel that, you didn't even leave. You don't feel that you feel like that now afterwards, but you couldn't have felt like that then. You stayed.
You
You
got the
stayed.
Me Too
And if you
movement.
stayed because of the whole money thing, then you're a prostitute.
You
Because at
the
that
Me
point,
Too
I
movement.
what reason did
respectfully
you
disagree
stay?
with
What
both of
reason
you.
did you stay for 5 different occasions of you claiming that somebody, the first time I'll give you if that was it, but every other time after that, no. Come on now.
You continue to allow yourself to be raped.
I don't agree with y'all. I respectfully will say that.
We know you don't. You're sympathizing. Even if they're lying to you, you're going to sympathize. And I understand why. I get it. I do. Because some of these people, the real victims are unheard. And that's the problem. The real victims. But he's not on
No, it's
trial for
not that
these
I
things.
sympathize. It's that I understand when people have mental issues and they get into abusive relationships and they don't know when to walk away. It's because I actually understand that.
But
It's not because
what
I think
relationship?
like,
Her
oh my
boss?
God, everybody in these situations are victims. I never said that. However, it's really funny to me how instead of pointing out the fact that this man forced himself on someone who says she did not want it,
It's
it's
allegedly.
being said
It's
that she
allegedly.
did because she stayed.
It's allegedly.
Yeah, no,
We
I'm
don't
not
have no
going. I
proof.
This is what
definitely will
she
not.
said. It's not alleged if she said it and it's a
We
court
don't
It
have
is
no proof.
alleged. No,
documentation.
it is okay. So, but she said that he allegedly did it. So it is alleged if she says it because it's not proven that he did it.
Or he'll have a rape case.
Oh
But
my
what I'm
God.
saying is that just because she said that from her story, no, if I was on her jury,
I
she
have
wouldn't like
always
me.
maintained that I don't know who everybody is telling the 100% truth. I'm going off of her testimony. If
Yeah,
her
and I would have
testimony is
probably
correct,
100% believed
if
it
her
if she
testimony
had
is
one time.
correct, then I can understand why she didn't leave. That is my point.
But I can't at all.
And I said respectfully, I disagree.
Yeah,
And
because
then
for
he
you to be
said
attending
that
parties,
I'm a
doing all of this shit,
sympathizer.
you gotta be. You
No,
sympathizing
I'm
with her
not.
story. You sympathize with her story, which is okay. You're a woman,
No, I
and
sympathize with people who find themselves in certain situations because of maybe what they grew up, how they perceive things, how they deal with trauma. Like, I think about all of those things before I just automatically say to somebody, well, they
so
stayed and they
okay.
deserved it
So
because they stayed.
when
That's
he
not
got
how I
arrested, she was
operate.
still his assistant.
Say that again.
When he got arrested, was she still his assistant?
No,
How did she get out of that?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Okay, yeah. So like I was saying, I can understand you sympathizing with her, but for her to what reason did you have to, even if she didn't report it, to not leave? That you have multiple occasions of you saying that this is happening and you didn't leave. But you didn't stay either. You left at some point, just not when the abuse was supposedly happening.
And
How
she
is
would have
this
been
any
paid off.
different from a
When she
domestic
left, she
violence
would have been
victim?
paid off.
Like, that's
When
what I
she
don't
was free and
understand.
clear.
How is this any different? Even though it's a
Because
work
it was her
relationship.
employer, and yeah, because it was her employer. That's like,
But the same psychological factors are still at play. Even
It
though
don't
it's
matter.
not
She ended up
romantic,
leaving. She
even
ended
though
up
it's not
leaving.
romantic, it's still at play. It's her livelihood. That's how she makes
Listen
her
to
money.
me,
That's how she maintains her money. We
Lindsay.
don't know her family situation. We don't know if
Lindsay.
she was paying for her grandma who was in
Lin-
hospice. We
Lindsay.
just don't know the whole story. I'm not gonna sit
Lin-
here and be like, oh yeah, she should have left because
Lindsay. Guess
she
what?
she should
definitely
have
could
went to
have.
the EEOC against Sean P. Diddy Combs,
Lindsay.
who
Guess
who
what? They,
28 people mysteriously have died around him. Yeah, okay.
28 people.
Who
Come
has
on, man.
weapons,
We don't have no
who carries
evidence of
weapons,
28 people dying around
who
him.
chases
Come on.
people around with guns and sets
Now
people's
you're
cars
making
on
it up.
fire and
You're
kidnaps
making it
people.
up. You're
Right.
making it up.
I'm not making
Now
up. This is
your
alleged
feelings.
testimony, bro.
Okay. I don't care.
That's
Now,
allegedly,
okay,
that is
she
the
left.
alleged
No, no, to
testimony.
your point, she left. Now, listen to me. She left. There is this thing in the state of New York that allows every single victim to go back without any jurisdiction and file claims against the person that has done something to them. She has not done that. She has not
You
done
don't
that.
know that. We don't know that because she testified
Yes,
anonymously. So
listen
we
to
don't know
me.
that.
Listen to me. There are no rape charges against this man. Are you aware of that?
You
There's
do
not
not
no
know that. You don't
one
know
more
what's
time.
coming down the pipe. You do
One
not
more
know
time.
that.
One more time. There are no rape charges pending against Diddy.
Okay, since you know
The Me
everything,
Too
I'm gonna
movement
leave you
would eat
alone.
this dude alive.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm saying we're in an era with Me Too. The Me
Yeah,
Too movement
okay.
would bury this dude alive. There's gotta be more
Mm,
to it that we don't know. Yeah, she can testify and say whatever, just like the lady got on the stand and said that she dangled that he dangled her over the damn thing. Come to find out, he ain't even in LA when the whole dangling incident happened. He's in fucking New York or New Jersey at a concert. So how could he be dangling? Did he do some bullshit? Hell fucking yeah, they all do. Uh, let's all men at some point has done something fucked up to a woman. To what degree is measured differently. And I stand here to say that as I'm pointing the finger at myself and every other man. Every man at some point has done something. But what I'm saying behind that is you don't, and I get the mental illness, right? That's real. And I'm not trying to demean it. But what I am saying at now that this lady is a free and clear woman, and this man is in a position of powerless, she had the ability. When all these other complaints start coming out when they start hearing Cassie was about to get paid. Now everybody wanted to get paid because they got slapped on the ass or
Well,
groped
this
or
one
whatever.
she did get paid. She but it wasn't for sexual things. And this is the shit that I'm talking about. When we're reading it, right? She's basically saying, "Oh, if I told him no, I felt like he would be mad at me or something," right? Um, she said she left his employment in 2017. She up and left. She was there from 2008 or something like that, 2009 to 2017. She left in 2017 and hired a lawyer to negotiate severance pay. After several months, she received a $400,000 settlement as compensation for unpaid overtime, severances, and bonuses, of which, like, I guess half of it went to like paying her lawyers off. Right. So she got that. Um, then his lawyers asked her, like, why during the time that she was working for him, she was taking pics of him, calling him a mentor, her inspiration, and all of that shit. And she said that when the highs were high and the lows were low. And so she went to Instagram to like just talk. So I mean, so this is the first time she's ever said anything about that it might be rape or it might have been any kind of abuse ever.
And that's what I'm saying. Knowing what he's going through already and the legal issues that were on him and the way he knew that the feds was on him, it was never a time for her to now be quiet about whatever it was that was going on. This is when she should have been the loudest because she already got $400,000 up out of him. She could have got more money up out of him if she had a lawyer already negotiating about all of her
She could have
pay.
did that. Yeah, in 2017, she could have did that one.
Because you still had the Me Too. I don't think. Listen, the power of Me Too got Bill Cosby over some white women from 50 years ago. I ain't finna sit here and say that can't no woman go back and do whatever. If that shit happened because of that law in New York gives them the jurisdiction to do so, this lady could have did that because she was with him in New York, in Miami, in LA, in Vegas, and everywhere else. 9 years? Come on, man. I ain't finna sit up there and I'm not believing everything everybody's saying. Yes, he's guilty of something, but we got 5 counts. Which one of these 5 counts is he
This was
guilty of?
not even about his guilt or not.
Well,
The conversation had nothing to do with that.
well, you demonizing him at this point.
I am pointing out the fact that he is abusive. That's not demonizing. That's a
Ooh,
fact.
right. They all are. They all are
But
abusive.
he is the one that is raping
Yeah,
people.
he's
He
not
is
the
the
only
one.
abusive
He is the
person.
one that is using people's money. Oh, we see what he do with his artists. We see how he shelve his artists and make sure
I
they
don't
never
care
work
nothing
with them
about
and
that. And
blackball them.
That's
That
contracts.
all
That's
of that stuff is
contracts.
abusive behavior,
That's
and that is my point. And I'm
contracts.
not gonna sit
That's
here and
contracts.
sympathize with poor
It's not.
Diddy.
No, that's
Poor
contracts.
Diddy. Oh, he's
But
in
No,
jail.
it's
I
not
No,
don't
he
about
put
know.
poor
himself
Diddy. What
No
there.
it
one.
is about
He
just
put himself
being
there.
what it is just being fair and what we're assessing, right? So it's not all just poor Diddy because ain't nobody said that we called him a sadist. We
I
said
didn't
that
say
he
that.
liked
Y'all
that.
said that. I'm saying that I am not saying that because I am pointing out the abusive part. First of all, this
Hmm.
conversation was mostly about the BDSM aspect. Then we got on the fact that he could possibly be a sadist and that could be a disorder. I was going down the mental health part of it. I don't the guilty and stuff like that. I didn't say anything like that. But what I'm saying is somebody says they forced themselves, somebody forced themselves on them. We got into the whole entanglement of why she didn't leave, why she didn't go to the EEOC, why she
Hmm.
didn't file a complaint and all of that stuff. And I was saying that a lot of people who go through stuff like this are ashamed and embarrassed and they don't know what to do in that moment. They're not thinking about the EEOC. They're not thinking about quitting and going and getting a lawyer and doing all the things that he's talking about.
But you keep saying in that moment, like it wasn't months and
In that
years.
moment, over the years, whatever the case may be.
She didn't give a fuck about going to get a lawyer to get some money out his ass.
That is because she said that he owed her money for the work that she did.
She
She
was
was
saying she
being
wanted severance
overworked
pay,
and underpaid.
overtime,
Most of
and
the people that was
right.
working for him was working way more than what they were getting paid.
Hmm. Right.
That
And
I
he
don't see
also was
anything
raped.
wrong with that.
So if you can get a lawyer and talk about money,
Maybe she was
but you can't get a
ashamed and
lawyer
embarrassed to
and
talk
say
about
something
the
about
sexual abuse. Like, why are we not getting that? People are not always wanting to say this person raped me, this person did this to me. That is embarrassing stuff to have to tell other people. And
she's
then on
gonna have
top of that, it's a famous person. So what if my identity gets out and like that is a shameful thing. So that's what I'm saying. I
that's
can
shameful.
understand that.
Setting up the
I'm
freak off
not
and not
making
getting paid
excuses
for
for the
it, that's
lady.
not
I'm just
shameful.
simply saying I can understand that. And then I got accused of being a sympathizer and
Well,
all
I
this
don't
stupid stuff.
understand that at all. Because if you can go after him in that aspect,
If I
I
can go
will
after
sure go
him for
after
my
him
money
about
that
my
I work for,
dignity.
that I don't have to tell people what happened to me and how I feel
Nobody
dirty
knew
and
about
ashamed
that.
about it.
Nobody knew about that 400,000 either. Like that just happened, right? You the same way she did this now, she could have did this then.
But we don't know what the prosecutor said to her to get her to testify. They might have told her,
Well, for
well, since
one,
you
she
set up
she
the
hid
freak
her
offs, we could
identity.
charge you. But hold on. They could have went to her and said, since you set up the freak offs, we can charge you too. So in exchange for your testimony, we're gonna give you immunity. We don't know what. We
We
don't
don't
know
have
what.
nobody ever had her testimony. She came forward with it.
Okay,
Nobody ever
y'all got
knew
it.
about it. She
I'm just
didn't. I
gonna
could see
respectfully not say nothing else.
if she had said something to him before. I could see that, but she's never said anything before. So this is the first time she's saying something. She's saying it anonymously, right? And she's giving her story. She had to come forward with this to even be able for them to give her the anonymous stuff to be able to tell it. But I'm saying the same way there's a Jane Doe on his docket is the same way that she could have did that case.
All right, well, I'm
That's
kind
on
of
her
like,
family. She could
all
have
right,
just did it
cool.
that way.
Y'all got it. I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't. I really don't. I guess we can end the show now because we've been going for like 3 hours.
Okay. I didn't even get to all the stuff that I was trying to talk about today. Um, I had way more stuff. I had a
I
list of
know, but
police
then
stuff,
this
and people came
this
up about
yeah,
Diddy, and it was,
yeah. I can't hear anything you're saying. You're on mute.
oh yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I did Diddy. I did talk about solar for a second, but I only had a second about
Well,
that
what else
because
did you want to talk about?
I didn't do that. Well, I mean, another thing. I guess I'll go live and get another day and talk about that. But I wanted to talk about Ashanti and Nelly.
Oh yeah, I really did want to talk about that, but I think yeah, another day is probably best because y'all
So
pissed me off today.
she's like, I'm still hot.
I'm still pissed off.
I don't want to piss off Miss Blessed B.
Blessed be for your yeah. I'm
Blessed
mad.
B said I'm standing for the victims.
I
Damn it.
am 10 toes down.
I'm sorry.
If that makes
I
me
wasn't paying
gullible
attention.
and a sympathizer, it is what it is.
Yes, you were. You were
Whatever.
a sympathizer.
I'll
It's
be that.
okay. It's okay to
I'm gonna be that.
sympathize with
I'm gonna be
people. Like,
that
wrong with being a sympathizer.
because it sounds like I'm throwing out everything else because I just want to sympathize with people being victims, but I can understand where they're coming from. And I think
I
it's
can
crazy
understand some.
how most
I don't understand
people
that one.
have been abused in some kind of way and they've had those feelings of guilt and shame. But yet, when we have these conversations, it's always, well, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? And I just find it kind of hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, but I don't think it's hypocritical because at some point you have to, you know, if you don't stand up for yourself, you also can send mixed signals, right?
No, I get that. I mean, eventually she did leave. You see what I'm saying?
But I'm
But
saying that you also send mixed signals. Like, I mean, I talked to just to put that out there because we didn't.
yes, please do
Are you
because I'm not gonna lie. Y'all listen,
listen,
y'all
we're not
making
condoning
me
this or victim shaming. What I'm saying is that I don't necessarily always believe that because I have seen women who have regrets for doing things. I've seen women who went along with it for whatever reason, right? If somebody is, you feel pressure to do it and you're going along with it and you like, fuck it, I ain't putting nothing into it, but I ain't gonna say no. I don't feel like he gonna respect it if I say no anyway. Anything, right? Just understand that you were kind of complicit in what happened to you because you did not at the time say or do anything to protect yourself, right? So for the other person to get um in their head, you liked it. You went along with this. You were okay with this, right?
I'm
Because
gonna
you're
say
not
to
sending me
that
anything.
when you're
So
done.
it's like, yes, women have been in I know plenty of women, even from girls, teenagers. I call teenagers little girls. So teenagers, even who go along with something because they think that they have to, they feel compelled, they feel like this, that, and the other. And then the other person, you might not have wanted to, you might feel pissed off afterwards. The fuck this nigga, da, 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 da. And then he come around like nothing's happened, right? I had friends, how the fuck this nigga talking to me like he ain't just tried to da 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 yesterday because he don't see it that way because you didn't make it so known that it was just so wrong that you felt in the moment. So the next day, he's not thinking that like that because you didn't really make it known. So I
Okay.
know that when we're um, shocked, when we're in a position, you don't always know how to fucking feel, right? You don't always know what to do. But sometimes if you know that you didn't do this, that, and the other, sometimes the other person really don't know how you felt or how they made you feel in that instant.
This is what I want to say. Again, standing up for yourself, that for everybody, that journey is not easy. Because if
Exactly.
you were a child where you weren't protected, you were neglected, you didn't have somebody stand up for you, you don't have an idea of what that looks like, or something happened to you, like you were sexually abused, or something happened to you when you get older, because 9 times out of 10, the people in these situations, usually they have that background. I'm not saying all the time. Let me not even say 9 times out of 10. Let me just say some of the times, because I ain't got time for semantics. My point is, when you find yourself in another abusive relationship, you don't, it's almost like this is how I feel. I feel like a lot of the people that work with Diddy, while they knew that it was, they were complicit in the fact, like the access to him, whatever, whatever, but at the same time, I still think they were like in a stuck mode. Like, I really don't know what to do, because I need this job because of whatever, whatever, whatever. And they kind of talk themselves out of what happened to them. And then, once it keeps recurring, okay, now it's like, okay, you know, they find the strength to leave. But I think what I'm really trying to say is that this is why mental health conversations are important, because people are so quick to be like, well, you should have just left. There's 1,000 reasons why people don't leave abusive relationships. There's 1,000 reasons why people don't leave toxic work environments. And there's just a lot of things that we don't know, because we don't work for Diddy. We never worked for
But
anybody
is that the
who's
other
a
person's
billionaire.
fault? Is that the other person's
Who's
fault
a
that you don't know how
billionaire,
to
who
stand
has
up for
power,
yourself?
who has access to things.
But is it their fault that you don't know how to stand up for yourself?
I'm not making it anybody's fault. What I'm
I
saying
mean, but
is,
we
if
kind of
somebody
are.
is abusing you, I'm not, this is not a whose fault thing, is it? I mean, obviously, I don't agree with somebody raping people or forcing themselves on people or doing things to people that they probably don't want done to them, but they do it anyway because they know that if they don't, they're going to get fired or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, we can't always say, well, why didn't they just leave? Because that's not always explainable. And there is a guilt and a shame and a pain that comes from being great. So I'm not gonna sit
But
here
that's
and
not
agree
what I'm
with
saying.
y'all.
Is that it's not. If she's saying I didn't do nothing though, he did that shit, and I mean I ain't scream, I ain't do nothing, I ain't fight him. I'm trying to understand how he would understand that she didn't want that to happen. That's where I'm getting. So I can understand if somebody got that background, somebody whatever. When you don't stand up for yourself, how does the other? How does you not stating what you want at this time? Now that's his fault and that's his problem because you went along with it, but you didn't want to, but you never said that. So then when he
I
does
kind of
more
think
stuff and he's
that
doing more
there's
stuff
the
and you
point that,
don't
so we
say
got to
anything,
introduce, the conversation about consent. Like, just because you didn't ask her, like, okay, is this okay? You weren't kissing and making out and flirting and doing googly guys. I mean, according to what she's saying, I don't know. I don't know if they were flirting and maybe he took it the wrong way. From what she said, he
yeah, because she
basically
said
just showed
Combs
up
would
in her
sometimes
room
treat her like
and
a
did
best
what he wanted to
friend.
do.
Because he
Huh?
said sometimes he would treat her like a best friend and working partner, and then sometimes she felt like she was worthless. So that means that
And that's
sometimes
where
y'all
the
were vulnerable with
narcissism
each
comes
other.
in
Y'all
at.
were all of that shit. And then sometimes it was like, no, you just work for me.
That's where the narcissism comes in at, though. That's why I was saying it's a cycle, and that's why I can't blame him for it, because
I
I
can't
feel
because
like,
don't you need to make a boundary for yourself.
but
There's
he
no
doesn't
man that
have
I work
no
for
boundaries.
that's gonna.
Like, he
She
doesn't
needs to
have,
have a
like, you
boundary
shouldn't have a,
for
first of all, no,
herself.
wait, hold on, wait. Before you even say anything, first of all, I can blame him for that, because you have a professional relationship. You shouldn't be acting like your best friends with your assistant. You
No,
should
his
already
assistant
have a
should allow
boundary.
that if she doesn't feel like that is something
But
that
but
she's
you
comfortable
said that
with.
I couldn't blame him. So I am
Yeah, no,
blaming
you
him
can't
because
because
he
she
didn't
allowed
have a
it.
good work. He didn't have a healthy work environment.
She
He did.
allowed it.
That's not my point.
But
My
if you're
point
gonna
is
allow
you
it, if you're
set the
gonna sit here
standard.
and share
You
these
set
moments
the
with
standard
them,
and the tone for the people that work for you.
no,
You
you set the
basically
standard
told
and the
them
tone for how you get treated.
no, no,
Yes, you do.
no,
Because
no, no,
I'm
no,
not gonna sit
no,
with you.
Denise. No, you're
Listen,
not
you're my
listening.
boss. I don't want to sit with you and talk to you about your personal problems. You're my boss. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that is a good
A
thing for
lot
us
of
to be
people
sitting here
don't know
sipping
how
and
to
doing all
do
of this.
that. That's
And
what
that's
you're
not
not
his fault.
getting.
That's not his fault that she don't know how to set a boundary.
No, it is his fault because the work environment that he is the boss. He is the leader. We
But
talk about
he's
leaders
okay
all
with
the
the work
time. Hold on,
environment.
wait a
She's
minute. No, no,
not.
no, 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 no. We talk about leaders all the time and how basically if you're a leader, if something is happening in your company where people are being abused and taken advantage of, it is your fault because you're the leader at the end of the day.
But he set the work environment. If she couldn't did not
I'm
like the
not
work
saying, listen,
environment,
I'm
then
not
she should
negating
not.
that. I'm not
So he
saying that.
that's
That's not
okay
what I'm
for
saying,
him.
Denise.
No, listen
Okay,
to what
I
I'm
think we need to
saying.
end the show
It's
because
okay for
it's just
him
getting to a
in
place
his
where
work environment to be cool with his employees. It wasn't okay for his employee to be cool with him. She didn't like that.
being cool and
He
thinking that
liked
you can
that.
force yourself on someone sexually because you are
He probably was
best
fucking
friends or
all both of
whatever
them.
is not the same.
He probably was fucking
I'm
all of them
cool with
sisters.
my boss, but I'm not going to go and make sexual advances to her because we are cool. So you telling me a grown
Also might
man
not be
doesn't
sexually
know
attracted
when
to
a
her.
woman is into him or not? Like it's his fault, it's her fault
Well,
that she
no.
didn't say no. Like you show up in my
Yes.
room in the middle of the night while I'm asleep, while I'm vulnerable, and force yourself on me, and automatically it's my fault because I didn't say no.
No, her continuing it makes me think that the first time, what, because you continued. You continue to be his best friend. You continue to be his employer. You continue to be complicit in all of the sexual things that he was doing without saying no, without saying you don't like it, without saying you don't want it. So how is he supposed to think that you don't want it?
If I never make a sexual advance towards you, I never indicate that I want to have a sexual
We
relationship with
don't
you.
know if she
I
indicated
don't,
that.
I am saying if. The key word is if. Because according to her testimony, there was nothing in there about, oh, we flirted a few times and this and that and the
No, it
third.
was
There
just
was
that we were
nothing to
best friends.
indicate being someone's friend does not mean you are sexually attracted to them, and it doesn't give you the invitation to come into some. First of
Okay.
all, you won't let nobody lock their doors. You come into someone's room while they're practically asleep, and you force themselves yourself on them in the middle of the night. That is intentional. You caught me at a time
Yes,
where
and you
I'm
didn't say.
vulnerable. I'm laying in the bed. It's dark.
Mm-hmm.
You come, I'm not expecting you to show up in my room and get on top of me and do whatever. And then on top of that, after the fact, because now you're saying after the fact she didn't stand up for herself. Like I said, I can understand the mentality of not leaving because you're afraid you're gonna lose your job. You're afraid that you don't know how you're gonna pay your bills. And and I'm saying if someone has been through abusive things before or whatever, because I'm assuming that she's had some kind of abuse in her history, she's not thinking about standing up for herself because she never knew how to do that when she probably was abused as a child. And I don't
She knew
understand
how
how
to do
that's
it when
far
she
fetched,
left
and that's me being that's me negating the fact that she didn't stand up for herself. Maybe
because
she
she
doesn't
did
know
stand up
how
for
to.
herself when it came to her money. She did go get a
She
lawyer
did
when it
that
came when she
after all of
left.
this stuff was over and
When
done with.
she no, she did. She did that after she left in
That's
2017.
what I'm saying. She
Okay,
left
so she
after she
left
did that after
and
she
she
left.
knew how to stand up for herself.
She oh my god. Okay, Denise, you won. I'm done. Let's end the show, please.
That's
Let's
all
just
I'm
end the
saying.
show because
I mean,
I don't
you can
understand.
go. I don't, I'm just saying
Okay.
that was my thought on it. What the hell? Like I don't know what to say. We got Andy. What is yes, hi Andy.
What's up, my friends? Also, what's your opinion on Russell Brand? Because he was part of those parties too, though.
I don't think the parties are a problem.
Oh, really?
No,
Then what's the actual
they
issue?
just like to have sex. Was how Diddy himself
Really?
treated people. Yeah, the parties themselves
I
aren't the
know. I always
issue.
hated him.
They wanted to come there. They wanted to go to the parties. They wanted to be there. They wanted to have sex. They wanted to enjoy the
I
free calls.
know.
That's just a normal thing for them. They're in a lifestyle that does
It
that.
is normal. They have the baby lotion and and the
God.
fucking dildos and everything, my dog.
Yeah, it was a freak
It's
party,
just
so that's
wild.
what he provided a lot of stuff.
I don't know, man. I mean, like also he was also a drug addict too because he got away with the RICO charges in the Mann Act. You know, I mean, I love the
Well, the
dude's
RICO charges was
music, but
still
like
like
I'll
about sex. The RICO wasn't about the drugs, I don't think. I think his RICO charges was still about like sex trafficking.
oh man, I know it's worse.
So it was like,
I mean,
yeah.
that's yeah, and he shares a jail cell with Luigi Mangione, my favorite man.
Does he really?
Free
I
my
don't know
boy
about that.
Luigi. Yeah, man.
I thought he said they was trying to kill him in there.
Well, they did.
But for the stuff he was charged with, um,
Hmm.
they didn't really have a lot of evidence.
I know.
So it was
Why the
like,
fuck
I
was he
don't know.
using pink cocaine though? Basically,
Oh, he made that. It was a concoction.
no, because like there's a documentary on Vice, right, or like a video on like pink cocaine. It's not actually cocaine though. It's actually mixed with like ketamine and what's the other drug that makes you fucking hallucinate? I forgot the name of it. Acid or some shit. Oh,
Oh yeah,
LSD. It's
yeah.
mixed
I'm
with
like
ketamine and
or something.
LSD and shit.
Hmm. They was having
Yeah,
fun.
it's mixed with it. I know, dude. That shit will fuck you up though, basically. I know. The cocaine really pretty much fucks you the fuck up, basically.
I don't know. I've never
But
done
it's
that.
like me either. I know. No. But I know I had a substitute I had a, no not substitute teacher. I had a teacher who did crack once. It was funny though.
Oh my god! How do you know that? Did they tell you
Oh, because
about
I
it?
like no. I just
Oh, oh
like
my! How do you know that?
because I remember during my high school years though that when lunch starts though, like I'll like because I was pretty nosy back then, and like I would stare at him in the classroom window, and he would just like take out the rocks and he would just smoke it like it was nothing. It's the most funniest shit imaginable, dude. Then I told my dad about it, and he's like, "What the fuck?" He's actually related to a famous mariachi singer though.
There are famous mariachi singers besides, like,
Yeah, he's related to one.
Lucy and Desi.
Yeah, and my God, can you imagine you have like a grandson who's like doing fucking crack? Would he be rolling in your grave if he did that shit?
Absolutely not.
Why?
You are wild. Well, we know
Oh my God.
nobody should be doing it.
Oh my God. I know there's one crackhead in my area back in my high school years, and I had a classmate who looked like Peter Griffin. They call him Peter Griffin because he actually looked like Peter Griffin from Family Guy. All he liked were the pants and the shoes, but he got the shirt and the glasses though. My God. He was a fucking dope dealer, like after school and shit. He'd be selling to fucking He sold 4 types of drugs. He sold heroin, crack cocaine, white powder, cocaine, and weed. The 4 types he sold. Shit. And there was this crackhead named fucking Sprinkles. But that's a whole other story. I'm not even making this shit up. You know. Where the fuck do you go, man? Damn. I mean, if anyone's listening though, like y'all can't even fucking believe it, but the shit that happened is like unbelievable though. You know. Yeah. You're back.
Yeah.
What happened? What the hell happened, man?
Well, it's about to rain, I guess, because the internet was fucking up.
You're not the only one with the fucked up internet.
Man.
I mean, I got like the 5G shit.
Yeah, I think that's standard now.
What state do you live in?
Ohio.
Ohio. I live in fucking California.
Do you really? Oh, that's why you be up all night, because you're like 3 hours behind. So it's like early there.
I don't know. I know, dude.
It's like 8, right? It's like 8 where you're at.
Yeah, it's 8:04 right now.
Mm-hmm. It's
But,
11
man,
o'clock
dude.
here. But anyway, I'm about to end the show now, Andy.
I'm not gonna lie.
What's up, Andy?
Yeah.
It's been 3 hours.
I still like his music, but like I don't know, man. Like my image of him kind of changed a bit, you know.
Who, Diddy?
But yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And shit. Have you ever had a classmate who's so dope, basically?
Classmate?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll go with that. Mm-hmm.
Because did you look like a cartoon character though?
No.
No. Mine did. He looked like Peter Griffin from Family Guy.
Oh my.
And I know because they call him Peter, basically Peter Griffin, but his real name wasn't Peter. He's actually like he's a mixed race dude. He's like Latino and white. He's like Guatemalan, and he's like German. But long story short, you know, if there was a world record on this man, he would have his title would be the world's nicest drug dealer, basically. And if you grew up in the hood, though, like not all like drug dealers are not nice people, though. Like they're not. They're mean as fuck. No.
I don't know. I haven't grown around with nice ones. So.
Dude, I grew up in a ghetto ass fucking middle school and high school, and I actually went to 2 high schools though.
I went to private school.
You went to private school?
Yeah.
Was it a rich one?
Yeah. I went to a private all-girls school.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's some pretty interesting stories, though.
Yeah.
You never had.
But I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the hood,
Oh.
but I went to school away from it.
I went to school in it, man. It was like interesting though. Every day it always feels like a Friday movie or like one of those old school hood movies and shit, you know. Yeah, man. I do miss that crackhead though. Sprinkles. He'll say some weird random shit. You know,
Oh my God.
And he looked like that motherfucker from the
Andy.
Chappelle show.
Okay. Andy, it's time to go.
What?
I'm getting off the live.
Oh no.
I'll see you later next time. You gotta come earlier. Because I've been here for 3.5 hours now. I'm tired. I'm gonna go see what my kids made me to eat.
Okay.
Later, boo.
Later.
All right, y'all. So I'll see you guys later. This is nice. Thanks for coming. We got a little heated, but you know, that's my girl, blessed be. She gets passionate. And then we had Sean and Morphine. Those are the two BDSM people. And then it's just me, the angel. I gotta make an angel song for me. All right, we're gonna rock out with a new.
Yeah, it's your boy Anu Kakarot. That was cute.
Okay.
Your introduction.
Yo, so
Intro.
this nigga think he Lucifer, right?
Let's go.
Makes sense seeing how Lucifer white. Greek name phosphorus. He real to you niggas, but he false for us. The devil a lie and the truth ain't in him. Wield the sword of Michael Quinston, snake venom, fuck Catholic gang. Spit dark mode plasma in the ether, create acid rain over holy masses to his ashen flames. Nigga, you disrespectful nigga, go to your bitch job, drag your dame. Abandonment issue, your daddy rejected you, your ass is lame. Have the clip consecrated in Messiah's blood. Think he Lord of the Flies into that snub, blow out his Beelzebub all over his welcome mat. This nigga inverted makes sense in here. How he cosplaying Baphomet, barrel spinning like a laundromat. I spit ill hypochondriac, come live on the life, edge where the boundary at. This scoundrel cat ducking round from cat. Shots fired, he ducking round from cat. Naga at the bar, high noon, send him out or we coming in. Beat the shaitan out of Joshua until he let go of the gin. Scholarship trash, throw that shit in the bin. This Naga and put a bar reloaded, make your paradigm shift in the den. This how you kill a devil with the light within. It's Metatron in the flesh. The strap look like a Decepticon or a mech. Catch Leviathan in the net, we serving fish sticks, nigga. On with the spirit of destiny and a crucifix, nigga. Blood over wine. Business is lucrative, nigga. This set against Haruka Hootie, nigga. Thought this was child play, but this a doozy, nigga. Bitch nigga sassy. A floozy, nigga. The grand champion against a loser, nigga. Fuck Yap Gang. Pistol whip this nigga till it leave the impression of the strap blade. Nigga, spit sodium gas and folk, Satan's ass and black fang. He trying to gas y'all up, give y'all bread of stone. Naga got the keys of light, and he led the gold. Nigga, I'm in a back chat like Thanos with infinity stones. Every time Anu come on, this nigga fold up like memory foam. Got the energy to obliterate homes. I'm catching bodies like a funeral home, make it hard to breathe like the albuterol gone. Bars, nigga.